it's a little dead meme. Fuck you, little bitch. You think you can fuck with me? What am I ring? Fuck you, little bitch. Hey, look, I hope it's real. Fuck you, little bitch. You think you can fuck with me?
Hey, everybody! Welcome back to another episode of the Snark Tank Podcast, featuring your boys over here. We're gonna get on with the normal rigmarole of our weekly show here, but I do want to mention that next week's episode is going to be our first guest episode of the year, first guest episode of 2021, and it's going to be with Meat Canyon. If you're a patron right now at the audience participation tier, which is about $5, you can jump into the question thread right now and ask away. It's going to be a fun episode. Meat Canyon's a really cool dude. We've brought him up a bunch of times on this podcast, and I just wanted to get that out of the way, just so people knew what was coming. And there's going to be more guests in the future too in this year. Yeah. I think we're going to try and do that a little bit more often. But
yeah, talking to Will Smith right now.
Yeah. I'm talking.
That's hot.
I'm talking to Dr. Drew, who is miraculously still around. You know,
he got COVID, dude. That's crazy.
You almost got him, dude. You almost fucking got him.
We almost talked him into his grave, man.
I felt. You know what's fucked up about that? Like we obviously, like, if you're jumping into this, if this is like your first episode of this show, like, I apologize, but we've had this running joke for a while where, like, I've tried to convince everybody on this podcast that Dr. Drew has died every single time we record, except now that he got COVID, people have been doing it to me, and I've been curious enough to check because it seems like they turned my own joke against me. The universe did this. It's really fucked.
No, you did this.
I didn't do shit.
The universe.
You have that power. You do that with video games, so why can't you do that with fucking COVID and Dr. Drew?
With my
COVID's over. Why don't you do that, Chris? Why don't you do that?
I don't think I'm ready.
Powers. You're just like
a terrible wizard.
You're like any other entity where you just do things when you feel like it.
That's the only way to ensure that they actually happen, though. Is if I feel like it. If I don't feel it, then it's not going to happen.
You don't feel like ending COVID?
I would like COVID to end. I just don't feel like it's gonna. Dude, I haven't been so excited for a non-alcoholic shot in my life for this fucking thing. Like, I want to get this.
Just get something. Just
get injected into my arms. I heard it. Nice. I heard the vaccine fucks your arm up for days, though.
Really?
What?
Yeah, I heard it. Like everybody who's got it
way?
so far has told me that it's like. Or at least, like, I know one person who's got it. It's like a family member who's, like, happens to be, it's like a medical field thing. But they said that their arm was, like, killing them for, like, a couple days. It's fine now, but, like.
That's the most shots, though.
I guess.
Some vaccines. I remember getting vaccinated for middle school because, like, you couldn't go without it and, like, getting, like, tuberculosis, all that bullshit. And I remember that shit burning like a motherfucker. Like, I never cared about getting stuck with a needle because I've had cats, and it's like, if you've been fucking scratched by a cat, you pricked by a needle, and it's psychological fear and blah, blah, blah. But like, when they fucking put, like, that, I remember them squirting shit in me, and I thought they were squirting in fire. I was like, what the fuck what is this?
What's
this
happening,
can't be
bro?
good.
You
this
probably
can't
had
be good
allergic
for you?
You didn't even notice.
Really?
You probably went allergic, and you were like, what the hell? I feel so cool. I'm, like, going Super Saiyan. Like, nah, bro, your body's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, I had a steroid, too. For I think it was like anti-inflammation or some shit like that, and that shit burned like crazy. But days, I think it was just like an afternoon from what I remember. So that's kind of weird to me. I wonder what's in it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
well, it's COVID.
Usually,
it's COVID in the needle.
Well, yeah. I mean, kinda. Like, I think, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, yeah, I remember. Obviously, your arm's gonna hurt if you fucking pierce the skin and inject shit into it. Obviously, it's gonna hurt for like a little bit, like, but usually that's like a couple hours maybe at max. Yeah. But this is like, like so far I've seen most people be like, it's hurts for a couple days. It's like, oh, okay.
It'll be fine, man.
I'm sure it's fine.
I would take it in the head of my dick right now. That's how fucking anxious I am for it.
My God,
I definitely wouldn't do that.
I would. I don't give a fuck. I like adventure.
That's not adventure.
That's adventure right there.
Do you know what the word adventure means?
Yeah. Doesn't always mean good.
No, adventure doesn't necessarily.
It means I'm going on a trek. Something's happening.
Yeah, you're going on a trek to the hospital immediately after you go. Immediately after you get home, and then you realize that a dick is not a sufficient place to get your vaccine injected.
Could you? Someone does that, and then they're confused. Like I stole these vaccines and I injected them in my penis so my dick doesn't get COVID. And it's like,
So your dick doesn't get COVID.
You have to inject
Friend.
every single quadrant of your body. You have to be like arm, chest. My right arm is probably fine. Legs. Like you have to vaccinate.
my right arm's fine.
My right arm's
Not my
never
right arm.
changed.
I
Anyway,
wonder how
man.
many people would get it though if you had to inject in your dick.
Oh my god.
I would get it.
I would
get it. I would get it. Yeah, whatever. don't give a
I
shit.
guess
I would need local anesthesia. I guess I don't know.
I would have to take like 3 Viagra's and I would get it.
I would
So
take
like it's tin, bro. Hard as fucking solid tin.
I would have to take like 200 milligrams of like melatonin before
And just fucking knock
and
out.
just knock myself away, and then maybe
You're not gonna be able to sleep. You're gonna be aching so much in sleep. You're gonna keep waking up.
Do you know what 200 milligrams of melatonin is?
No.
That's a lot. That's a lot of
you're out.
melatonin.
You're out. You're
10
done.
milligrams is enough to get me drowsy, like to
That's
the point
crazy.
where
that
to
shit
the
doesn't
point where I
really
could
work on
pass
me,
out.
man.
Well,
What?
it works on me fucking
It doesn't work on me
good.
very well.
It works on me really well. They used to have this. Okay, Bob. They had this new. Years ago they had a Bob Marley iced tea that they released onto the market,
I remember that.
and they had a few different flavors, and it had melatonin in it at first. And I slept for 15 hours for drinking it, and I was like, "Fuck, I didn't want to do this." But
That's
then they
the
took
worst,
it.
dude.
They took it out, dude. They took it out because it was fucking people
You
up.
can't make
People were
it.
dying.
You can't make.
People were sleeping.
You can't make just a commercial like feel good refreshment that puts people to sleep. That's not. That's like such a bad idea.
I mean, that sounds fine to me.
No.
Mix a little alcohol with that, and then you're gone forever.
But
That's
that's
it.
what alcohol is for.
You're off. You're off to the next phase, man.
No.
You smoke a blunt. You get a few shots, and you drink that shit, and you are leaving. You're
my
taking
God.
off.
So listen, we got to talk about the elephant in the room, but there's a specific reason that pertains specifically to this podcast that I think necessitates us talking about this. Recently, there was a siege on the United States Capitol,
a rainbow siege.
and it's quite unfortunate because when we recorded the last episode, we recorded it on January 5th, the day before all this shit happened.
Sixth
Oh,
it
that's
happened.
right. That's
and I-
right.
And I remember saying specifically, I can't be fucked to care about what's going on at the Capitol right now.
And then
And then
shit hit the fan right afterwards, dude.
and then that episode went live for everybody during the riots and specifically on free feeds days after all this had happened.
So it sounds like we're just not giving a
That's
fuck.
fucking
Yeah,
great.
so it
about
just
this
sounds
wildness.
like we don't give a shit, which is awesome. But
Fantastic.
so obviously there was this crazy siege at the Capitol building. I have a video on it, so that I'm currently working on, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But people broke in there. Somebody died. A couple people died actually. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
One guy died because of some ridiculous means that I don't think would be respectful to bring up right now.
I-
But it's fucking wild. Like I don't think it's respectful to bring it up.
I won't
like-
bring it up because I'm gonna bring it up in a video. But
Okay, because I'm not gonna say it, but it's wild.
It's
You're gonna
pretty-
hear it. You guys are gonna be like, "What
look,
the fuck?"
look. Some of it's pretty tragic, and some of it's kind of funny. But that's not the point. This isn't a Siege the Capitol episode. Everybody's talked about it at this point. And by the time you guys hear about it, it'll be old news anyway. What
That's true.
I want to focus on is the fact that so Donald Trump was banned on Twitter and on everything else. He was banned
Yes,
on
he is.
YouTube,
Womp.
Spotify, in case he wanted
Yeah.
to drop an EP. He was banned from Pornhub. Not that matters, because who the hell logs into their Pornhub?
Very rarely. Very rarely.
I don't have an account, man.
Yeah, I don't have
You
one
don't
either.
have an account? I got an account when it was free over the quarantine.
That
I'm not paying
was the
for it
best
right
time to
now.
get
But
an
I
but,
did
like,
that.
I had one.
I did that out of sheer curiosity, but I don't remember what I don't even remember the what I mean, like the username or the password. I didn't care about
Oh,
that.
it's the same thing for everything is mine. It was so much
Well-
free porn. I was like, God
Okay.
damn.
Well, this is not
High quality porn is crazy.
okay. Well, I'm gonna mute that because it's just not a smart thing to relay to your.
Yeah, you don't want people to start fucking trying to find your shit, dude.
Yeah, that's a bad.
Oh no! It's the same for everything. Like I have, like all of my personal passwords are
No,
all
no, no.
relatively the same.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. All right, I'll leave it out there. Fuck it, whatever.
No, you don't
Yeah,
have
well,
to. You-
But
No, you're fine. You're fine.
But so because Donald Trump got banned from Twitter, a lot of people made Twitter accounts pretending to be
Yes.
Donald Trump. Some of them are still around. Some of them got kicked off the platform.
Yeah.
And Derrick, so Derrick, what
What happened to you that day, bud?
how quick did they shut you down? I'll put the tweets that you put up. Do you have screenshots of the tweets that you tweeted as
Yes,
as
yeah,
Donald Trump?
I do.
You have to send them to me. So
I have the three. I have the 3 tweets that I. All right, so let me walk you through this.
I'll put him up
I
on
love-
screen as he's telling the story.
I love that there were so many people, so many like-minded people that immediately as they saw the news, we all had the genius idea to like, I need to impersonate Donald Trump because there was a lot of it. I didn't see anybody else do it. I saw that he was gone, the headlines, and I'm like, I have to do this. And knowing that I could risk getting banned, and what happened was there was one tweet that was threatening, as you guys could see on screen. One of them was because first I just said, I used that one circle with the 7 in it that looks like the verified VAT badge, and I heard from some people saying that's one of the things that makes it even much more like easy, quickly, like it's in the algorithm to ban accounts that have that shit on there because you're really trying to impersonate someone, I guess. And then there's the violent take that I had where it first said, y'all niggas can't yeet me. And then I put right under it, gonna drone strike the fuck out of Jack. And that one fucking...
Yeah.
And look, as much as I appreciate people retweeting it, like say shoe on head, and it caught too quick, it went too fast.
It was like a wildfire, dude. Like that.
Yeah.
it was
That
way
would have got
too
out of
quick.
hand. If that was left up, that would have been in the hundreds.
So that's what it would have been. That's why I was just like, oh shit, I wasn't expecting it to get caught on. And I saw the first tweet, the y'all niggas one or whatever. It was being retweeted by so many checkmark people, so many people that I don't know. Like, who the fuck, who did this? And I was just like, oh no, this isn't good, because I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna fuck around for a couple of hours and then I'm gonna delete everything. But it didn't even make it outside of an hour. Probably around the 40-ish minute mark, I got fucking yeeted. And I was like,
That's
fuck.
fantastic, bro. I love that story. I thought it was like, I don't know how you thought that was a good idea.
I mean,
I was like,
of
this
course
is
I knew-
obviously not a good idea. Like, this is a bad idea, but like, that was funny.
He knew the risks, and I respect
Yeah.
that. He,
I definitely knew
respect
the
that, bro.
risk. I even put in my in the bio, hoping that maybe it'll help me because I'm appealing it, and hopefully because they do have permanent suspensions for usually multiple offenders. For what I did, it may not be permanent, and I also put in my bio temporary parody account. So I'm hoping whoever's reviewing this will be like, okay, he was just fucking around. Don't do it anymore. I don't know. The only thing that I regret, because I don't really give a shit, because I've heard some people are like, oh, fucking dude, you just lost 87,000 followers. And I'm like, I don't fucking care about that. What it was there were some people that I highly respect that I was following. And I'm not going to be able to get them to follow. I'm not going to like reach out to them and be like, hey, could you follow me again on my tiny little account that I just started? You know, like some fucking big rock stars and some
Yeah.
people that I've like looked up to. And I was like, oh yeah, that's the thing that I should have thought about before I did it.
That's
But-
literally the only reason that I don't fuck around too much on my Twitter. Is just like literally, it's like this
Same,
is
low-key.
my only line to these like people that I know I'm never really gonna get again. Like I'm never gonna
Yeah.
get fucking Hugh Laurie from fucking house to follow
That's
my
so
my other
funny.
account.
That's
You know, like,
true.
and I'm
That's
just
so
like, all
funny
right.
that he's following you.
It makes
That's
no
very
sense, and
true,
it's
dude.
and I've looked through his followers or the people that he's following, and it seems to be intentional, which is another reason why it's like, okay, I'm definitely not gonna fuck this up. But honestly, like the whole losing, like I don't know, like I've always kind of viewed it as like it's almost kind of better in some ways to get like a refresh, because you know
Yeah.
that all of the people coming to you are actually like people who give a shit.
Yes.
So you're in like if you've got like 1 million followers, but you get like 1,000 likes on every one of your tweets.
Yeah, you know,
that
yeah,
looks
exactly.
like that looks like shit. You know, it's just like anybody with that many followers would be like, yo, get rid of all these fucking people who don't care. Whereas like you've got like how many are you at now on your new thing?
Last time I checked, I actually don't think I checked today. It was probably just at like 4K right now.
Yeah, but that's 4,000, and those are people who are actually like engaged, who like are actually. So you're going to have like a higher percentage of engagement with the people who are following you now versus people who have like 1 million, who've had 1 million for like a long ass time.
I hate
Yeah.
I hate that shit personally. It's like I post something about me saying something like very liberal, and then like a bunch of people who are conservative follow me. See, I'm like, well, how the fuck did you end up here? Like I've never given you that. I've never given off that kind of vibe. You know, like what?
It happens, man.
It's
Some
like,
of the
why are
people
you
that
here?
People hear what they want to hear.
Actually,
you know,
there was a lot of people. Like, there's a guy named Mike Cernovich that looks, his eyes. He's almost a cyclops. His eyes are so close in together.
Oh my
He's
God.
fucking.
Sonic.
He has this stupid fucking face and he has this like I don't know. I don't know. He just annoys the fuck out of me. But he's been following me for so many years, and the thing that annoys me is he retweets my shit a lot. Mm-hmm. And he's like a huge conservative figure, and I'm like, but he's retweeting the stuff that has nothing to do with politics. Like, I'll say some stupid shit that I usually do, like 90% of my tweets. And so he's, I guess, appreciates like memes or whatever the fuck. But I don't like that his, you know, it was so it's actually kind of nice that he's gone from my shit. Like, I don't think he's gonna fucking find, like, who the fuck's gonna tell him that, oh, some black guy, you go follow him. It's just all like the fun people, like everybody that I like being around and everyone I like talking to, they found me and stuff, and then so it's been pretty cool. So there's that.
No, that's
I don't care about I don't care about followers. I don't care about any of that shit. But I have like D&D creators and like people that write comic books that follow me. So like I can't afford to lose them. Like that's I'll cry.
Yeah, don't do what I did, ladies and gentlemen. It was such an impulse. I was like, it was so, nothing like this has ever happened before. The president just got banned from Twitter.
That's
like,
genius, bro. You saw your time and you attacked, and I respect that.
Yeah, no, it was a good.
No one can front you for that.
I can't even say that it was a bad idea, really. Like, it's like, that's not even like, you definitely should have done it. Like, it's not something that you shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, it was so good. I saw everybody giving you props, and I was like, yo, this is fucking great.
It was that definitely did make it even better. I'm like, you know, okay, I don't really regret it. I don't care about the number. I'm gonna try to get a few people back. If I can't get my old account back, I'm gonna try to get some other people, like some, like, you know, people that I'm stupid for nuking my account or getting it nuked. Try to get them back. If not, it's fine. It's totally fine. But yeah, it's fun doing shit like this. I saw like a meme that came from Starship Troopers. And it was like, what's the difference between like a shit poster and a civilian? And basically, like, the shit poster is like willing to like risk, like, you know, it was a really good, like, just basically twisting the words from the actual scene, but replacing it with like you know, a shit poster and kind of to smash some of the stuff that people were saying that, like, oh, that was really dumb, or oh, you probably went a little bit too far, don't you think? And then it's like, no, this is,
dude, it's fucking hilarious. Yo,
it's for the culture. You don't get it. You don't understand it.
A Donald Trump account say, I'm good, Jack, I'm gonna drone strike you.
That's such a huge threat, bro.
Yeah, the funny thing is, there was enough comments of people saying, you got me for a second. Because that fucking, that little verified circle,
good,
or that
man.
circle with the 7 in it, if you just quick glance, it looks like the verification badge.
Yeah,
it's
That's
like,
what I
it's
saw
just
before.
so it's a quick glance and people are like, what? And they're like, oh, fucking. So I get it.
Yeah, no,
I
it
get
was good. It was a good laugh.
Because for me, I muted Trump. I muted him. I don't have anything as content like show up on my thing. I was like, I don't care about this guy. Fuck this dude. And then I saw Donald J. Trump was on my feed, and I was like, how did he get here? Why is he saying nigga? What's happening? Is he finally snapped? Has he finally just cracked and is like, I'm just gonna do what I want now?
No, yeah, you couldn't not seize the opportunity. This is like a pretty like wildly unique time. You know, like the president has never been banned from fucking every social media platform that exists except OnlyFans.
That's so crazy. Like, what the fuck is he? Like, what is he gonna do? Like, what is he? He can't. I think I guess he's gonna create his own fucking thing. What do you think he's gonna be like?
That's kind of the thing that I'm a little bit wary of. Where it's like, oh, I don't know if. See, I'm of two minds about this whole thing, where it's like, I think the way that he used his platform probably does warrant a ban in most cases. I think he has like such a unique reach to people, so that, like, you know, everything that he says is going to be seen by basically everybody at some point. It's pretty much a given. So with that kind of inherent like buff to character stats that doesn't exist for anybody else, anything he says is kind of like inherently more important. So like when he does kind of be like, hey, go to Capitol Hill, wink wink nudge nudge, it's like, all right, yeah, Probably shouldn't do that. In fairness, he probably should have been banned like a long time ago for like certain like other like really specific instances. The concerning thing is though the fact that all of them kind of banned him at the same time, and it's a little weird to know that that all those like tech billionaires can just sort of come together and be like, let's just get rid of this person, even if this might have been like a really warranted thing. It's still kind of inherently creepy that that's possible, you know?
Well, it's the argument that at this point, should social media be seen as a utility because it's so vital to communication nowadays?
Yeah.
You know, like the way that like you can, like white supremacists are still able to have electricity, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you still give them basic utilities, but so it obviously right now, since they're being private entities, yeah, he's banned. Who gives a shit? The conservatives that are crying. I thought you guys were all about the private businesses and corporations, and them like, oh, you can't bake a gay dude a cake. I thought you were all about that shit.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's kind of like
that's wild. You go to Baskin Robbins and get a cake, and they're like, "We're not gonna give it to you because you're gay." And you're like, "Well,
I got news for you."
Plan. I planned a whole day based on this. I can't get my fucking cake now. Are you serious? I wanted Fudgy the fucking whale. I can't get Fudgy the whale.
It's just wild. Like he can only go on OnlyFans now. Like that's the only place that he could go.
He has to go. That should be fucking
If he does
great.
it, that would be groundbreaking. That would be ground shattering. I'd be like, God damn, this world makes no sense. At that moment, I would join the army.
$25 for high-res photographs of my wrinkly colon. $50 for X-rays of my urethra with patriotic music. I don't know, man. Like this is
Make America gape again, bro.
Make America gape again.
Yes, there it is, right there. There it is, right fucking there.
Episode.
It's just fucking crazy, and I don't know. That was good on you. Good on you for that
Good
fucking
shit,
move.
bro.
I definitely wouldn't have had the audacity, you know, because I definitely did think about. I thought about it too. I was like, oh man, nah.
See, I appreciate that. Like we all thought it. Like so many people were like, oh, dude, that's a great time for a parody account. Now that he's gone, and I don't. That's the.
It was. You know what's funny? You know what's funny though? It's kind of like the opposite of like a I am Spartacus. You know, like where like everybody's like I am Donald Trump, except it's like not in support. It's just sort of like making fun.
To fucking shit on him.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know how this is gonna like. Obviously, he's still the president. He has he has. The president account, I don't think can actually be banned. Like, I don't think you could really ban the POTUS account. I think that'd be kind of like weird and like kind of off-putting.
Okay, gotcha. Sweet please. I have a question after you're done.
No. So so what I'm saying is like he's not technically like the president isn't silenced. You know what I mean? Like the president can still say whatever the fuck he wants. It's just like when he's a civilian again, he can't. And I think that's probably going to lead to him making like some kind of like it's like some Trump social network or some Trump like Trump TV, Trump radio. Like I think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to become
that's dangerous.
Which that's the kind of thing. It's like I don't know if this really. I don't know. We'll see how this pans out. But what were we gonna say?
Okay, guys. Okay, so you know how these moments like that when you really fuck up and everybody takes time to make fun of you, usually that hurts people's feelings. That's like a thing that like if you fuck up in class and everybody yells at you and makes fun of you. Do you think that Trump understands how many people genuinely dislike him? Like, at that moment, how many people came out the woodworks and were just shitting on him? Like, he had a bunch of people defending him, don't get me wrong, but he had so many people just vapidly shitting on him.
I don't think he does.
How does that affect his psyche? Like, how does that
I don't think he does. I genuinely believe that he does not pay attention to the quote-unquote haters and losers. I think he only listens to things that are positive. Everything else is like it doesn't even before it really gets to ingest in his brain and his psyche, it's already gone. Like the way that he acts, like the way that he speaks, he always says shit like everybody knows this. Like everybody knows the election was stolen. Like everybody, what do you mean everybody knows this? Clearly they don't. That's why you're not going to be president anymore. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But that's the
Don't
way
know
that he
this,
talks.
Donnie. You.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't think he cares. I think he's a very sensitive person, but not in the way that most people are today sensitive. I think there are a lot of people on the internet who will be like, who will take things really seriously and like who will get like really bent out of shape over like benign criticism. I don't think that's him. I think he gets upset when people like if he loses in any way in anything, that is the stuff that I think infuriates him. Because I think there's like this whole thing about like his niece or his aunt or something coming forward and saying like, yeah, and his family like losing is like the ultimate shame, which is why he just can't accept that he lost. Like he's just never going to do it because it's like it goes again. Like if he accepts that he loses, he's probably destroyed psychologically at that point. But
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that totally makes sense.
Based on his behavior, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and there are people like that.
Hey, man. Yeah.
I've met people like that, and they're a little scary. You know, they're not people that I would
megalomaniacs, dude.
Yeah.
I don't people don't learn that. Like, I guess this might be like something like hardware wise wrong with them.
That's a hardware.
They just can't understand. Like, but like you got to learn how to lose. You know, like that's one thing I learned from playing sports when I was little was like, oh, I'm not always gonna win.
Well, he definitely didn't play sports.
He was busy fucking.
Yeah, I don't think he was
telling
playing
people fucking. My dad owns this building, bitch. Fire this person.
Yeah.
Daddy, fire him.
But yeah, no, and you had these videos of like what is it? The people who were trying to fly home, who were getting like stopped at the airports, and because they're on no-fly lists.
Oh my God.
There's this one dude who was like walking away from like he was like, I love all of you. They called me a terrorist.
I just saw that video today.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
They called me a Karen. I was
It's
like,
so
God
wild.
damn.
Like it's so fucking weird seeing that because like on some level, like I guess it's like I can't care about people who like willingly like put themselves into a situation that like I wouldn't put myself in. Like I'm not gonna siege the Capitol because my guy lost an election, you know what I mean? Like that's just not something that I would mentally ever put myself in the position of doing.
It's like
so it's
attacking
hard.
The NBA if your team doesn't win the fucking championship. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's like, do you know the fucking? Did you ever see like that Stranger Things season where fucking Samwise fucking dies?
Yeah.
You know, where like
Season
the guy
2.
who plays Sean Austin, who blocks me on Twitter, by the way. Like I don't know what I did.
He blocked you because you kept
Yeah.
fucking with him, bro.
I didn't do shit to Sean Astin. I just saw Lord of the Rings like a year ago. You know, like I didn't even know who he was for the longest time.
Bitching about him not picking up the gun, and it got to him, and now look, Chris.
Yeah.
Now look what you've done.
Yeah.
He found out.
No, but like the second I saw him make that crucial mistake that I wouldn't make, I was like, fuck this guy. Like I don't give a shit. So it's like part of my emotions are that for like all these videos of people getting stopped, but part of it is also like, man, I feel kind of bad that like we have a big population that was so like susceptible to just like imagine
manipulation, insane. Manipulation.
Like it just paints a really depressing picture of like how our education works. Because like, dude, imagine literally dying for like a reality TV show host who like sold you out a day later. You know. Like that is,
I couldn't like
that is so fucked on
in my
a
mind
myriad
of
of
minds,
levels.
like genuine like psyche. Like I don't get what he like vampirically glamoured people. Like they're insane. Like it doesn't make sense. Like these people are like
there's a cocktail.
Gone.
Man.
He's telling us,
There's a
he's like,
cocktail.
there's that video too where he's like, I love you, you know, I love you all, I love you.
Oh yeah, he's like, I love you. You're very special to me, or whatever.
Yeah.
Very special piece. I'm like, yeah, you guys are fucking special.
It's very
You're on the spectrum special.
like
fucking Jesus, man.
The whole like I love you, you're special thing. Like it was very like
patronizing.
church.
Like you talk to a fucking pup.
Yeah, but it was also like a church thing that it reminded me of like
cultish.
yeah,
Well, it's
like
definitely-
I love
yeah.
you, you're special, and you're special because you follow me.
Well, that's
You
kind
know?
of the whole.
It's wild.
That's the whole thing. Like, I did a stream after I got banned or whatever, and I mentioned that we kind of have to. We're all kind of like in shock and like, oh, how the hell this happened? This is insane. Then it's like we have to step back and think about like, oh yeah, Jonestown. We have to think about shit like that. We have to think about Wild Wild Country. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix. Mm-hmm. Just like that cult that was up in Oregon, like all these little things with the Waco shit. Like there were so many different things that some charismatic person, and they're not even that brilliant. They're just good at talking. You know, I was actually watching a video about how the Flat Earth Society became a thing. Mm-hmm, and it's like a guy that dropped out in 9th grade, or he dropped out like very early in school. I think it might have even been earlier. And he was just good at talking. And he was so good at talking, sometimes he would make scientists bumble their words, which they're usually not very good at talking. Scientists are just scientists. They're not public speakers.
Yeah, they're good at finding. They're good at finding information. They're not necessarily good at conveying it.
Yeah, and so that's what happened. Words. He convinced thousands of people that the Earth was flat by being a smooth talking pimp, and so like you don't even have to be that brilliant. And so that's what we see in Donald Trump, where he said enough things to get the right people all riled up, and to the point where it's not even about the country or the flag, or right? It's about him. That's where you saw that statue. They replaced the American flag with Trump's flag, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is just we're modern day cult. Like we're literally witnessing it.
I'm also just confused about like the association with like the Confederate flag with like patriotism. That also doesn't make sense to me. It seems inherently
that's redundant.
It seems talked about it. Yeah, it seems inherently contradictory. I don't understand it. But the thing that's interesting about all this, and like obviously like this is a super like. This is a pretty, I would say, left-leaning podcast, all things considered. I'd say we're not right-wing people,
Sure.
by and large. So I get like this might feel a little like echo chambery, and like I get it. The issue is like if you're like right-wing, right? That's one thing, but it's like if you're like this kind of like in the simp territory. Where you're just kind of like
club.
Yeah, like I can't think of a president that I've ever like I was excited for Bernie to potentially win, not because I was like, oh, I love this guy, I can't wait to just unconditionally love this guy. It was just like, oh, I can't wait till he's in there because I agree with a lot of the things he says, and I just like I can't wait to bully him into doing them. Like that's kind of the thing. It's like these people are like working for you. These aren't like you're not when you elect a president, you're not like picking a father figure. You're not like picking a new like deity to like worship every Sunday. You're picking an employee who's supposed to work to benefit you and the country that you live in. And it's your job to kind of like put the pressure on them to do that. Like they don't need like the most powerful person on the planet doesn't need unconditional love and support. They need scrutiny, like intensely. And like if you're like a conservative dude, like Colin's a conservative dude, he doesn't like Trump. He doesn't support that dude. He doesn't like simp for the president. That's a different thing than being like than being so far gone that you've bursted into the Capitol building because your guy lost an election. Like these are very different things.
Absolutely.
That's what I think of every time. Like, first of all, people just don't have deductive reasoning skills, I guess. Simply.
What's that?
They can't deduce like, oh, this is fine, this is not fine, this is okay, this is not okay. Like I may not be a fan of Trump, but let's say like, who am I a huge fan of? Let's say like fucking I don't know, like Raekwon the Chef lost in the presidency from fucking Wu-Tang. I'd be like, oh. I may be upset, but you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to potentially, like, do treasonous activity, That's, like, it doesn't make sense to me.
You see, the whole thing is, and this is the issue that, like, because both of you were saying lost. They don't think they lost. Right, That's the problem.
But there's proof like...
No, it doesn't matter.
Sweeney, there's
proof of so.
No.
Sweeney, look at. I said this also in the stream yesterday. I said, and I said this to people because I know there's a lot of religious people. Right. Most of the country is religious. I'm not trying to be disrespectful on purpose, but the vast majority of people that were there also believe in zombies. They believe women can get pregnant by just being, I guess, wished to being pregnant. Like, oh, you're pregnant. Wild
No, you don't.
shit.
You don't even have to go that far.
I'm not even gonna dig into the whole religion thing.
Look. You don't have to go that far. There is proof that the Earth is round, my guy. Like, there's proof that the Earth is a sphere.
Look.
Absolutely, right?
No one that has flown. If you've gone to Europe, I've been there.
Kingston, people
you can see the curvature of the Earth. Derrick, you've been to Greece, right?
Yes.
You've been to Greece. When you're going toward Europe, you can see the Earth curving.
I mean, I've seen ships go over the horizon, and they look like they're fucking falling downward. You know, the last thing you see is the ass of the ship because it's curving. You can see if you see a ship on the horizon far enough, if you can actually see that, it looks like it's fucking sinking because it's just going around. It's going down.
It's
curving
off the fucking planet. What are you talking about, dude?
But there are people who will fly and look at exactly what you're looking at and see proof of the exact opposite thing. It's crazy.
Sure.
I don't understand it, but I've heard people talk about it where it's like, yeah, if you ever go on a plane, did you ever notice fucking this, and this? And it's like, what the fuck? That literally is, you're describing proof that the Earth is round, but somehow wording it as if it proves that it's flat. And I don't even know how to communicate with that anymore.
I saw a documentary that did that same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Where it was showing the curvature.
There was a whole documentary?
It was the wildest thing I saw. It was supposed to be proving that the flat Earth theory is correct. And one thing they showed was across from this lake, you can see the city looking like it's sinking because it's further enough away where you got some of the curvature going on. And I'm like, it's right, guys, it's right there. It's right there.
Why wouldn't it have fallen
It couldn't
off?
do that if it was flat. It looks like the city's sinking because of the curvature. I didn't. At that point, I was like, I have to turn this off. I just, because I was like, they have to have something to believe, something that's like, I guess that's like unprovable. I guess, you know, like one of those type of things where it's
it's like a God situation where it's like you can't disprove the existence of God, but you can prove that the Earth is fucking a circle.
That's
a goddamn fucking sphere.
God, that's a little tough, you know. It's an extra dimensional thing, whatever it is. It might not.
It's unfalsifiable.
It's tough.
Based on all the feats that God has, based on all the feats that God has shown in his anime and his manga and in the manga from freaking made by the Jewish people.
Sure.
Based on all those feats, it's hard to disprove God in any sort of fight, any sort of bout, you know. But when it comes to things that are very apparent, like if you look at me and you tell me the sky isn't blue, the sky is fucking orange, in a broad daylight, I can no longer fuck with you.
Well, the sky could be orange.
No, Chris.
I've seen an orange sky.
Yes, but if it's daytime and a clear sky, our sky's not orange in the daytime.
Do you remember in San Francisco when the sky was red?
That's because of something else. That's not just the sky.
Well, the sky's red, though.
If you tell me the sky is fucking green, fucking lime green, like fucking Sprite or some shit.
You mean like Namek?
Yes.
The sky's green on Namek.
What? You're one of them.
Namek's real.
You're one of them.
Namek is real. How would they have just invented Namek?
You know what you do? I get invent the plan right now. It's called You're a Fucking Idiot. There you go. It has dolphins and pelicans and shit on it. That's it.
Dolphins and dolphins and pelicans.
Dolphins and pelicans.
It's a huge species war against the dolphins and pelicans.
Yo, pelicans.
Real fucking grizzly.
Did you know how vicious pelicans are?
They're not nice.
They're fucking.
Neither are seagulls.
They're the apex predator of birds.
No, they're not.
Pelicans eat eagles.
No, they don't.
They do.
That's so hilarious.
Look up.
Pelicans will try to eat anything.
Look up on YouTube. Pelican.
They may attempt to. They're not.
No. Listen to me. Look up pelican eats.
I'm not looking this up.
It is.
That's so stupid.
It's fucking wild.
I'm not looking that up. You guys are both lying to me. First of all,
I'm not.
I would have heard about this. I would have heard about this in one of my fucking.
Where you listen to Pelicans Weekly? Like what?
No,
like,
one of
where
my
did you find this?
Like, did you know? Because I've looked at books about pelicans before. I've seen books about them. Would have brought up like, oh, the pelican, the apex predator of birds. They don't fuck around. They eat eagles.
I've looked at books about pelicans before.
When I was little, I would have been like, "Oh, pelicans are like those books that show you all the animals in a kingdom or something like that. Like in certain kingdoms, then they have the dinosaur one, then they have the extinct animal ones. I've seen that one with birds, and they would have had some sort of cool passage.
Enough. Hold on. Enough time has passed.
Aneurysm.
Enough time has passed now that I'm sure anybody who heard that story probably Googled it already and found that it was not real. So we're gonna go ahead and
someone who Googles that really quickly. They're like, "What the fuck, pelicans?"
Look, we got.
Come on, man, New Orleans Pelicans. Why do you think? Come on, they're the shit.
Why do you think?
Get right with God.
They're not the shit.
Get right with God.
That's such a fucking big thing to be told.
It kind of is. It's very disrespectful.
Get right.
Oh my fucking God. All right, we should move on to questions because we got a metric fuck ton of them actually.
Really?
Question loves.
Yeah, it's a stupid amount.
Anybody talking?
This is
gangs
probably
loads of shit.
Like this. No, surprisingly, but this document's probably gonna last us for a fucking while. I'm still updating it. Obviously, the month is still early, but this is all the questions we've got so far this year.
Show me my shoulders. Move my shoulders a little bit.
Don't
get loose.
Yeah, don't get loose. Grizzly Bear wrote in, said, "Hello, Virgin Miranda simp, Chad Tally simp, and play Mass Effect before I rum tum you, bitch."
What does rum tum mean?
I don't know.
It's not good. That's all I know.
Yeah, I think it's definitely not a pleasant thing.
I'm gonna look at what rum tum means. Continue.
You don't like rum tum your kid to sleep or anything.
I feel like I don't even want to say those things together.
No, you don't. Really short question, but should make for some good stories. What's the angriest you've ever made a teacher in school or a superior in the workplace? Also, thank you for telling me to watch Castlevania. Season 3 had some stupid plot points, but great show overall.
Season 3 was great.
I really liked every single season of that show, but fair enough. Glad you liked it overall because that show's
Some people
awesome.
are just their standards are too fucking high, and they want everything to be like the greatest thing of all time.
Not everything's gonna be season 2. Season 2 of Castlevania is one of the best seasons of anime, period, ever. I'd argue that. I'd go on my deathbed and argue that.
I haven't seen enough anime to make that claim, but it is very good.
But season 3 is amazing.
But yeah, so this question fucking threw me back in time because I remember in like 7th grade, this was like the beginning of 7th grade. I was like kind of new to the area. Like we had just moved upstate. I was going to school. I brought a glass Snapple to lunch every day, or at least like most days. That day I haven't had it. I had a little lunch bag, the fucking brown paper bag. Everybody's had him. And the class was almost over, and I had lunch next. And I lifted my bag up to take a sip of my drink because I was like, I'm so thirsty. I'm dying. And the bag fell about like 3 inches, and the glass kind of like cracked a little bit, and it was spilling on the ground. And I was like, "Excuse me, Senora Valente, can I get like napkins for this drink that's spilling all over the ground? I'd like to at least save this, or at least like clean up before I make a fucking mess." I was trying to be a good fucking person, genuinely. I was like, I don't want to make a mess. I just want to fucking solve this problem for you. And she was like, "You're not allowed to have glass bottles in school. Go to the fucking the detention room for lack of a better term." I was like, "Yo, what? For having a glass bottle? Are you fucking for real?" And she sent me off. And from that day, that was the 3rd week of school maybe. And at that moment I was like, I'm going to fail this class because I am dedicated to making every single day of this class absolute torture for this person.
That's so petty.
Evil.
It was bad. It was bad. I was not a nice kid. But the problem is, like, everybody hated her already, and then I had, like, that. You've met Rob, right? Have you met Rob Acevedo?
Yeah, of course I know Rob.
Kingston?
Rob.
This was, like, a high school friend of ours. He was in the same class with me, and a couple of minutes later, after I went into detention that first day, he showed up and walked through the door because he like, stood up for me or whatever, and we both, like, ran these, like, tactical ops. It's like, how are we going to fuck this class up today? Like, how are we going to... And we would bring, like... It was really bad. Like it was like, in retrospect, I sincerely would apologize to that teacher. Like there was no reason why she should have dealt with like demons like that. But like we would bring First of all, she sat us across the room opposite of each other, so we couldn't talk or whisper, but that didn't stop us because we would bring action figures to school and like pretend like we were fighting the other action figure from across the room. It was a fucking nightmare.
God.
And I failed that class. And
what grade was this?
This was 7th grade. This was
Seventh grade?
This was a while ago. Maybe 8th, maybe, but it was pretty bad.
That's crazy. That's insanity. What about you, Derrick? I know I have 2 stories. What's one for you?
I think about this one every once in a while because of I think it's the reason why I pretty much, no matter what price anything is, I always just want to like throw out the $2. I always want to say $2 or something like, oh, how much is this worth? And and just kind of it's sometimes it's very disrespectful if somebody wants like a good price for something. You're like, I'll give you $2 kind of a thing. And it was I think it was in geometry in freshman year, and my friend Jesus is a very large human being, and he would put his feet up there was like under the desk, there was those little sections where you can put your books under, like those little, whatever the fuck you call them, baskets or whatever.
It's like a cubby or something.
Yeah. And so Jeezy, he had his feet on them, like he always does, but then he fucking broke them one day. They just snapped. And this dude, Mr. Gentry, fucking went on this monologue of just disrespecting the stuff, and then he ended off with, and I didn't even say this to be funny, I was just kind of like, it just naturally came out, but he's like, do you have any idea how much these things cost? And I was like, I don't know, $2. And then like the whole class started laughing, and he was so mad because obviously nobody was taking him seriously that he kicked me out. Like I was like, what the, dude, like I was just, I don't know, man, like I didn't see it as like me trying to be a piece of shit, but I guess from his point of view, he was like, fuck this kid.
This was freshman year of high school, yeah?
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Yeah, you're a kid. You don't know what the fuck. You know the value of those things anyway.
Of course.
Yeah,
you
I'm just
don't.
like, I'm don't know, $2. I'm like, like
you've
whatever,
never
dude.
bought a
Like, and then
desk?
he just was so mad that he kicked me out. I was like, I was not expecting that, and that like a lot of people remember that because I guess it was just one of those good comedic timing things because it wasn't like I was trying, but it struck him so well because he was so angry.
Yeah.
And I guess the real answer was to not say anything. Is really just it's
Dude,
like
yeah. People
one of those,
bring. It's one of those like iconic things that everybody who was there just remembers. Like everybody, like a friend of ours, Paul, was in that class too with me in Spanish class where I dropped the belt, and he brought it up. Like we met years later, like actually, and he was like, "Oh, you're the kid that cracked the bottle in Senora Valente's class." Like, "Oh yeah, dude, it got so bad." One day, and Paul will corroborate this if you ever ask him. She lifted me up by my shirt. Like I'm not like this.
Did you have a smug face on too? That's what makes it the best.
Yeah, she lifted me up by my shirt and dragged me out of the. Like this is a real. It was so bad. I bet like if I watched that class again, I'd be like, "Yo, kill this kid." I'd be like, "Yo, kill me!" Like actually kill this kid.
Okay, so for me, there was a security guard at Poughkeepsie High School who he just hated me for some reason. I don't know why. I think he's just on my face. He's like, I don't like this kid.
I understand
and he would always
that.
say dumb shit to me. He was always saying dumb shit to me. And like every time he would make fun of me, and I'd be like, whatever, man, whatever. And then one time he said something, right? And then one time he said something, and I was like, you know what, man? How's your fucking mom, right? And he was like, he got so upset because he was absent a few days earlier. It turns out his mom died 3 days before I said that. And I said, how's your mom? And everyone started laughing at him.
Holy shit.
And I was crying laughing when I found out because it was so unbelievable. And he literally hated me, dude. The one time I got into a fight that year, the one time I got into a fight that year, dude, he got his chance and he slammed me against a locker so fucking hard, like a rag doll, and I was laughing and I wanted to say, damn, bro, you want me to meet your mom sooner than later? But I didn't say it because I was like, that's fucked
probably
up.
But
I was definitely different. I was not as kind-hearted as I am now. But he was such a dick, dude. Every time he was the one that missed my friend's gun in his bag. He's the one that always fucked up and said some stupid shit. He was a terrible security guard, and I was like, dude, what are you securing? Like, you're not helping anything. You fucking suck.
And you didn't start this? You didn't start it?
I don't think I started it. I was just like, I think I made jokes, and like I was always sort of a clown, and he hated the fact that I was a clowning person. But he failed to realize that I was also kind of funny, so it's not really safe to make fun of me, because I'll just make fun of you back without knowing what I'm gonna hurt you. And he didn't like me. He talked to my grandma one time when she came. He's like, "Oh, you're his grandson." He hated my cousin also. My cousin was another kid that went to that school, and he tried to fight him. So I think that was a generational grudge.
Maybe.
He just found towards me. But I was just like, I didn't do anything to you, bro. But the whole mom thing was really fucked up. I never apologized either. Never apologized because I was.
You're a fucking kid too, so whatever. Dude.
That generational.
I was like 16, 17. I wasn't really a kid, but like.
Yeah, that generational thing is a real thing though. Like in schools,
Absolutely.
Like people, like if you have like, because I remember when my niece went into when she moved from Arizona over here, and she was like 4 years younger than me, because like I have a half sister with kids. It's a long story, but she went to the same school that I went to, like years after I went there already, and like she was like, "Oh yeah, people keep asking me if I'm related to you," and I was like, "Oh." Oh no! Like I would, like I don't like that. Like I'd prefer to just like not. I'd prefer people, especially staff, to forget that I was ever there. You know, like I don't. It's never like a good feeling to be like, oh. Yeah. Apparently, it was mostly good except for Spanish classes that didn't. I didn't set up a good. I didn't set up a good. What do you call? Rapport. I didn't set up a good reputation for anybody who was going into school after me with our family name, because I didn't think anybody would, because this family member of mine, that entire section of my family lived in Arizona until I graduated. So like I didn't think I had to think about like future generations of my family going to school.
For me, I was the clown, and then my cousin was the hothead. So he was hot-headed, and he was the one that always like fought someone. And then I was the one that never took anything seriously. So I was always the one like bursting out laughing in class, like Kingston, get out of class. Like I was in AP classes laughing my ass off at things that happened, and then they'd be like, Kingston, get out. Like I remember when we read Tom Sawyer. I think someone said the N-word, and I laughed my ass off. I started just cackling. Like I started fucking screaming, because of course it was a white girl that said it, and she was so not okay with saying it. And I was just like, say it. I was like,
you say it. You better say
come
it.
Come on, say it. And she said it, and I was like, ah! And he was like, it's not funny, Mr. James. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. And I got kicked out.
It is funny. I still try to make white women say the N-word, because it's still funny to me.
I tried to make my girlfriend say it, and I was gonna buy her makeup if she said it. I tried to get her to say it.
She still hasn't said it?
No, she was like, this is not okay, and I don't want to be a part of that. And I was like, you're a real one. I actually love you. If she would have said it, I would have broke up with her, though. That's fucking terrible. You don't say that. You don't break your moral values over some fucking makeup.
What are you talking about?
You don't fucking do that. You don't fucking do that.
So was that a fucking test? That was a trap, you fucking bitch?
I was recording her, too. So I would have had it against her for the rest of our relationship.
That is the snakiest,
remember you fucking said this?
That is
greasy,
actually
slimy shit.
I'm not a good person. I'm not a hero.
You should be a fucking car salesman, you fucking sleazeball.
That is actually
almost worked, man. She was like, nah, I'm not doing this. This is ridiculous. I'm not saying that. And I was like, damn, bro, you got morals and shit. I fuck with you.
Oh my god, that is fucked. Actually,
that's villainy. Yeah, but so what? She didn't say it, so it all ended well. I ended up finding a good person, but like,
yeah, whatever.
Yes.
Zach Parsley wrote in. He said, y'all killed Dr. Dre and gave the other one COVID. I want to read it. Dr. Dre, first of all, I don't think we've ever... have we spoken about Dr. Dre on this podcast?
We definitely have.
Have we?
I'm sure at some point.
Because of Dr. Drew being so close to Dr. Dre, we've definitely spoken about the two of them.
At some point, or we've at least mentioned in passing. I don't fucking know,
Look,
dude.
I don't remember bringing it up. Maybe it was in one of the dark tanks, but... I will
say, you assume that because we're black men?
The fuck is that supposed to
mean? Because we're black and we're talking about Dr. Dre?
All we talked about was fucking Van Halen, Sebastian fucking Bach, Johann Mozart, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Don't fucking put that shit on me. I talk about Bon Jovi. We talk about Bon Jovi in the dark tank, right?
Dude.
It's Barry Manilow or no one. No, I
dismantle or
seriously,
nothing.
I seriously can't
Alanis
recall
Morissette.
any time. Like even when we talk about Eminem, I feel like Dr. Dre's barely mentioned.
I
So,
think
like,
the only time I've ever mentioned his name was talking about that track, Crack a Bottle. Because
Yeah.
since he's a part of it. I think maybe that's all I can think of.
So you can't blame Dre on us. Also, he's still alive. He's just aneurysmed up. He'll be fine eventually.
Aneurysmed up.
He had an aneurysm. He'll be fine.
I
Yeah.
hope. I pray
You know,
he is.
If
Yeah, he
he's
seems
still-
fine. He seems fine.
Yeah, look, if you have an aneurysm and you're still around, you're probably, you're doing all right relative to somebody who's, had an aneurysm and is not around anymore.
Yeah, pretty much you
Yeah,
gotta
true.
like, as soon as anyone can figure out what the hell's happening, they just gotta get in there like immediately and you have a chance to be fine.
That shit
And,
scares me, man. That shit
yeah.
scares me. Every
Let's
time I
not talk
read a
about
story,
this. This actually this just brings dread to my heart.
Okay.
Let's get moving past
All right,
this.
And
Let's move
Ice-T
on.
though, Ice-T was fucking giving the updates and I appreciate him. He was like,
Ice-T's
literally, he's
the
like,
OG,
I got
bro.
news for you. He's not
OG,
dead.
bro. Show respect.
But
I
he
got
is
news
gay.
for you. He is gay.
Can you
I got
imagine?
news for you. He's alive,
alive.
but he's gay.
That's crazy.
Also, all right, so we didn't. You can't blame Dre on us. I will. Here's the thing. If Drew, if he, sheds this mortal coil, I will take responsibility.
They're gonna put you in prison, bro. They're gonna fucking lock you up because you fucking condemned him.
Yo, I didn't know it would happen.
You're that kid that does Bloody Mary over and over again until one day you're found bodies like found ripped up in the bathroom, slaughtered, torn apart. You just keep doing it. Hey, Bloody Mary.
I hate that shit. Yo, when you find shit like that, leave it alone. Like, don't.
What?
I hate
Yeah.
that. The people in the movies who are like Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, and then they get fucked up. It's like I can't.
The thing about
I've never
that is
even
that,
tried that with like real legends. You know what I mean? Like
look,
real shit.
Yeah. My
Look,
my
guys.
used to scary. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Look, I don't understand how there are groups of kids that are like, this girl did this and her body was found X amount of miles away in this condition. And the kids are like, you know what'd be cool? Let's all meet at my house past dark and then do that. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
Let's
People
meet
are-
in
I'm not
they're
doing
the
that with you.
Let's meet in the woods where there's
Let's
no
meet in the
cell
woods on
service.
this Native American burial site and let's have an orgy. It's like, I'm not doing that.
Did you hear
I'm not
about
doing that with you
a real
guys.
story? Like some people like in the woods found a like voodoo doll in a cave, and they took it home, and then all of a sudden weird shit started happening to them. And I'm like, why would if you found like a fucking crazy ass weird carved doll in a cave, would you fuck with that thing?
No, let me tell. I wouldn't take a PSP that was sitting in a cave. All right, like I'm not.
No, that's way too suspect.
anything that's in
Only a
cave.
puppy. That's the only thing I would take. I would take a puppy. I'm like, oh, this puppy's hurt.
Yeah, and then
have to
somebody
save this
smashes
puppy.
your fucking head in with a mallet as soon as you poke your head out of the cave. Like you don't fucking like that's the bait.
That's the
puppy's
bait. I know, but look, Derrick, you're lying to me right now. If you saw a
No.
whimpering puppy in a cage while you're spelunking, you're gonna be like, yo,
I'd probably call somebody because it seems way too sus to me.
you know that's true. I think that would bring like this is a puppy and it needs my help, but at the same time, I don't know this place enough. And why is there a puppy in a cage in the middle of like a opening in a freaking?
Yeah, but
I would-
fucking Dylan would do the right thing. He'd be like, oh my god.
Listen here, Kingston. Listen here, all right, dude? Listen here, all right, bro? We can't leave this puppy here, bro. It really needs our help. I'm like, dude, Dylan, buddy, you're kinda wild right now. Nah, man, you can leave if you want, bro. I'm gonna take this puppy home and I'm gonna raise it to be my best friend. And I'm like, well, okay, well.
And that fucking puppy has a bomb strapped to it.
Yo, to it. Not even like inside it where it's like inconspicuous.
it.
It's strapped to it and the kid doesn't think there's anything wrong. Oh, this is such a fancy collar you've got.
Why does this puppy have a vest on? That's
Very
a
nice collar, bro.
bomb.
Why is this puppy's collar beeping?
That's a bomb. If you have a friend that's that stupid, do you try to save them or do you run off and leave
Why
them?
is his leash a
gotta
long?
let him go.
Why is his leash a long wick with a spark slowly climbing up it?
Why
Weird.
does it say TNT? Why does it say Acme TMT on it?
It's a fucking candlestick bomb, like the fucking bowling ball cartoon bombs.
Oh my god.
Oh my fucking god. I
Oh
don't
my
even.
god. What was the question? We almost got to the question.
I don't even think we got there.
We didn't even get to one. We just got distracted. Let's see what we got here.
You know what, dude? Can I like run and piss real quick?
Yeah. Derrick had to go piss. So
Yeah.
he's
so
gone.
we're just here.
Maximo Redacted wrote in and he says,
What's up, dude?
"Hey gang, I have a simple question. What makes games like Destiny solid shooters?" This is a very specific
Easy.
question. Easy?
For me, what make Destiny a solid shooting game is the feel of the weapons. So in a lot of shooting games that I've come across beforehand, and still some afterwards, including Call of Duty, every gun of an archetype feels like the same gun of an archetype, you know? Destiny, not only are the designs all pretty different when it comes to like the legendary, like I'm pretty sure every legendary weapon has a like common weapon that looks similar to it, you know, because there's only so many models.
Yeah.
But they all, of the ones of certain rarities, they all have different looks and designs and sort of things that give them their own, particularly the exotics. The exotics are all very their own kind of gun, you know. Nothing's exactly like an exotic. The sound design, which is something that Bungie has been doing very well for a long time. Mm-hmm. Every weapon sounds like its own weapon. Like,
yeah, there's I've been talking about this for a really long time because I think it's like actually like a really underrated aspect of game design where it's like, you know, weapons in a lot of first-person in Call of Duty, I can't really tell you that, like, if you were to play the sounds of like a FAMAS or like an M16 or like a whatever other gun, like I could tell you that they're different weapons, but I wouldn't be able to tell you which one
is
which one is which. But like with a game like Halo and a lot of Bungie games particularly, they do this where they will design weapons not to sound realistic or not even to sound particularly powerful, but to sound like distinct and unique. And like you can tell, like, even if it's across the map, you can tell like, oh, that's an SMG. Oh, that's a Red Death. Oh, that's a Crimson.
Or for me, the Telesto. The Telesto as a gun, that gun has the most unique sound because it sounds like birds chirping.
Yeah,
it's talking about fucking Destiny.
We answered a
we
Destiny question while you were gone because we figured that would make
So I
sense.
see, like, it's just that. It's just attention to design in the shooting and the weapon design. There's a lot of attention to detail.
It's that, but also like the question is like, what makes a game like Destiny a solid shooter? I think honestly, like one of the few things that matter is whether or not it feels like your bullets are connecting. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me, but like in Call of Duty and in a lot of shooters, I feel like whenever I'm shooting an enemy, my bullets they're not hitting them. It feels like I'm going through them. Like, so I guess there's that, but it's almost like I'm shooting like a hologram, and it's like not really there. It's not really reacting to my shots. But like in Bungie games in general, they tend to like there's animation, like the people get hit, and there's like visual feedback. There's sound design feedback to let you know that you've hit things, and that's come into Call of Duty in the last couple in the last like decade. I think that came to it in the form of like hit markers and like the.
Oh yeah, when you actually
yeah. But that was missing for a while in Call of Duty. Like I remember, like I would hit people and I would have no idea like if I was even making contact with them.
You would get a sound, you would get like the alert sound of a kill.
You would just
get, like, doom.
You would just get the hit marker, like the X, but that was it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that goes into making shooters feel right. Because even I've noticed like some of them I'll play and I'll be like, even just looking around feels wrong in this. You know, like I don't know what it is. There's something that I played recently that was like that. Oh my god, fuck! I'm gonna fucking remember. Cyberpunk feels a little bit off. Like when you're looking left and right and just like you get used to it and you adjust pretty quickly. But even just that, like the way your gun moves to the camera angle, it's a lot. But
because it's not a shooting game, that's why. And you notice
that's true.
When you play shooting games, you notice those kinds of things. You're like, oh, this should be doing this.
It's the best shooting in a not shooting game though that I've played, in my opinion. But yeah, that was your Destiny. Thank you, Maximo, for the question.
Have a good one, redacted.
Normally we would save that for the solos, but we found we might as well just do this. While Derrick was out pissing. How was your piss?
Oh man, it was life changing, dude.
How green was it?
It was actually surprisingly all clear. I didn't see that coming.
Ah,
I
congrats.
thought it was gonna be
Beat
like
your dick.
fucking brown. I thought it was just gonna be like. You said I'd probably just beat my dick.
Yeah.
Is that the qualifier?
Every time I peed after I've like beaten my dick or had sex, it's always super clear. That's for me at least.
You might just drink. You might just be drinking correctly.
I thought that's what that meant, but you know what? I've never actually looked it up. I've never verified when piss is clear what that
It's
means.
definitely.
When piss is clear, it's water. It's pretty much it's more water than anything else. That's what happens.
It's definitely
just
how
passing through you, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely how you drink. It has nothing.
I'm
like,
not
Sweeney,
super hydrated every time I've had sex in my life.
It doesn't matter. Hydration isn't the issue. It's about like what you've got in your body, like liquid wise. It's not about like whether or not you've drank water. It's about whether or not you've drank 10 gallons of Coke or not. You know, like there's like, it has nothing to do with whether or not you've fucking coomed. You know,
Hey, bro, I'm pretty sure it's a good. I've noticed that about me. I don't know anyone else. I've never really watched anyone else pee after they had sex. I'm not really that kind of guy. But that's my assumption.
That's interesting. That's an interesting observation.
That's interesting.
If
If you have brown piss, you got to go to the hospital quick. That's blood. That's,
I mean,
you
it's
gotta go
usually
fast.
it usually looks like like fried chicken. You know, like
Oh my fucking god.
the batter. Isn't that normal?
What are you saying?
What?
What is happening? Wait.
Like the color of my pee. It's like
It's like fried
Like,
chicken grease.
Like an egg-shelly, like creamy color with the same consistency.
like an extra crispy kernel. Like I thought that's the shade of all people's pee. Or sometimes sometimes like you ever have a long john with the chocolate on top. You know, like a
You got
chocolate
fucking
donut.
reddish brown piss. You gotta go to a fucking. Yo, somebody call a doctor, man. This man's down.
It hurts a lot when I pee. But
a lot.
Do you remember back when Will Sasso? You remember Vine, first of all?
Yeah.
Back when Will Sasso was making fucking so like the best vines that anybody ever made.
he was one
Like,
of the
there
few
was
people I followed. Yeah.
There was this one Vine. I can't. If anybody, by the way, if anybody can find this, please send it to me on any platform that you can reach me on. I've been looking for this video for years and I can't find it. But it's a video of Will Sasso, and it's like it's something about like a colorblind man noticing that he has like a serious problem or something, and he's like taking a piss in a toilet, and it's just forceful red piss like bursting into the toilet, and he's like, that's weird. My piss is a darker shade of gray than the lighter shade of gray it normally is. And it's just this.
Seen that.
It cracked me up so hard that I fell asleep. And I fucking lost consciousness when I saw it, and I never found it again.
Oh, really?
But
What's his name?
His name's Will Sasso.
Sasso.
But if anybody can find that Vine, I would really like. I will personally shout you. Like, I'll say anything on. Like, if you have like a message to the podcast, I'll say it. Like, I'll be your mouthpiece as long as you send me that video, because I need to see that video.
I love Will Sasso.
You're not gonna
Fucking
find
great.
it because like every time I have to search Will Sasso piss Vine, you know, and it's like it's never.
You probably have to sift through fucking the Vine compilations of just him.
I know, and I just can't.
Yeah, right.
I can't do it. I can't justify. I'll do a quick search. Will Sasso piss Vine, and immediately. I found it! Oh! What the fuck? I've
How
searched
soon
for this for years.
How soon
Where's
ago
it
was
at?
it posted? When was it posted?
2013. But I've looked for this for ages.
Okay, see now I can't fucking excuse that at all.
Because piss is nowhere in this. It must be in like comments that are.
And it searched up the. I hate when that happens.
That's so irritating, dude. It's such a good fucking video. Look, he saw it. He watched it. You could tell because there's joy in his fucking heart. I'm gonna retweet this.
He's got fucking great. He's got great vines.
Yo, it's so bad, bro. If your piss looks like that, you're in danger.
It's not
You're
even
in danger, dude.
it's not even just like the red coloration of it. It's the forcefulness of it. Like where it's like it's a fucking fire hose. Like Will Sasso is so funny. like that, those were he made that platform for me, like him and like a couple other people.
Vine was fantastic for a little while.
People like to shit on platforms wholesale, but like I mean, like there were a lot of pretty good people on Vine.
No matter there was always going to be good people in every form of everything. That's just how it works.
Yeah, I can't think of any good people on Facebook, but you know.
Yeah, that's fucking.
My mom, I guess. No,
yeah, like my family, I guess. Some of them. You know,
forceful piss, dude. That shit's hilarious to me, bro.
Oh, follow up on the dude who was talking about bringing his PS2 to I think it was university or something, where he was like asking us our top PS2 games. The whole IRS wrote in. He says, "Greetings, taxpayers that funded Obama's Michigan Lake House / drone factory electric bills. Due to unforeseen circumstances involving my dog wanting to kill anything that moves, also known as my disc tray, my PS2 is out of commission, and I will be bringing my Xbox 360 Slim to college now. The Xbox-related question is as follows. Would you rather have the Earth be invaded by the Locust from Gears of War or the Covenant from Halo?" By the way, Chris,
Gears.
You're older.
Gears.
Well, so... You've played Gears of War, right? I feel like Derrick.
I played 1 to 3 totality.
Derrick, you've played Gears, right?
Yeah, I've played all of them.
Yeah, I thought you would. I feel like we've had conversations about this.
Yeah,
but,
I think we have. Yeah.
But the Covenant are aliens from like elsewhere, and the Locusts are like from underground.
But they're from a different planet, though. That's the thing.
What do you mean?
You're not on Earth in Gears.
Well, you know what I mean. Like,
we're on their planet.
They're on. It's essentially Earth, though. I mean, like, it's just a different history and different. Yeah, it's like Reach. You know, like it's not Earth, but like ostensibly it is in this context.
Yeah.
I would rather know that aliens exist from elsewhere than know that there are mole people underneath us.
Never.
Especially because they were sinking cities with a giant worm. You remember that? There was a whole fucking thing.
Dom! Fucking Carmine!
Dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, the idea that there's these things just carving underground is, like, way more unsettling to me.
No, it's not, bro.
It's not?
Totally
it's
not. No, it's
and
not.
even aesthetically, man. Even aesthetically, fucking locusts look...
No.
They're locusts are on roids without being on roids. They're fucking massive.
No. You guys have it all wrong, okay? So first
what are you talking about?
The locusts are just mad that you're on their planet, right?
That doesn't...
But listen. The locusts are just mad that you're on their planet, right? And that's insane. But think of... Chris, you've played all of the Halo games. Think of how bat fucking shit crazy the Covenant worship the fucking... They worship the shit that brings the... They worship the rings. They're fucking elites. Dude, one elite would beat the stifling fuck out of a few locusts.
No, but listen, that doesn't matter because the aliens can be reasoned with. Like yes, they can.
Oh, that's true. You can reason with Arbiter and a few of the Sandhealy. You can't, and some of the grunts. You can't reason with the Covenant, like the High Covenant themselves. You can't reason with them.
You can't reason with a single locust. There's no single locust that's gonna hear you out.
I think a grunt could kill a locust, man.
No.
Yeah.
No, of course not. Of course not,
dude.
No, that's stupid. That's silly.
Maybe.
That's
Kingston,
silly.
I don't think you've played enough Gears to know this.
Chris, I've played a lot of Gears.
Not enough.
That's silly. To say that makes it worse.
That makes it worse, Kingston.
Chris,
because you're saying obnoxious.
Chris, think of it like this. Do you think anyone in Gears has a remarkable... I think everyone you play as in Gears would get fucking deep dick by Chief.
That's a different story that we're not talking about.
Listen. Elites can. It's very possible that an elite can kill a Spartan. Chief has plot armor, but an elite can kill a Spartan. One chief would have no problem against probably all of them.
You can't put the plot armor characters in here. We're talking about the non-plot armor characters. We're talking about the aliens that are the enemies of both factions. We're talking about hyper-advanced alien races that have a lot of tech and a lot of power, but are also part of a fractured government that is collapsing
I
and is
disagree.
splintering, or a group of jacked mole people that cannot be reasoned with, that are essentially fucking like zombie Pokemon. All they do is they say what they do. You understand? They walk around and they say boom, or like fucking kill. That's all they do.
I'd rather any day, because if the covenant exists, that means the flood's somewhere around there, and I'd rather any day. I'd rather any day.
You're thinking like way too much in like lore and not just looking at what they are.
I'd rather a locust and elite any day. You guys understand what elites. Chris, you know what elites can do, and
I understand. I would rather deal with a locust. I would rather deal personally as an individual with a locust than an elite. But that's not the question. The question is the Earth is being invaded. The question is by what? The question is our Earth currently.
Still locust, man. The Covenant has fucking planet glassing beams, bro. Planet glassing beams. They glass portions when they want to. If they want to glass the whole planet, the whole planet is like a fucking marble.
And the can destroy our planet.
Cities. They can destroy
worms.
cities. They sink cities, right? You know what's worse than sinking a city? Turning a fucking planet into a snow globe.
But why would they do it, though?
Because they just can. They have the ability to do that.
But see, why did they do it, though? See, the thing is, like you said, like Chris is saying, a lot of these people can be reasoned with. There's maybe a reason. They have a point. When you have the locusts are being controlled by a queen, and it's like, oh, this person is just going to destroy everything if they so please.
I don't see I see maybe if we get lucky by chance, we'll find another Sandhealy that thinks a little bit like Arbiter, but I do not see that happening. I see it happening is they're gonna come here and be like, oh, you guys are still upset about colors of your skin, and they're gonna start tearing us apart. One elite could probably beat like 30, 40 Marines.
Kingston, let me put it this way. The Covenant come in spaceships. They come in ships. They come from wherever. They have their ships loitering in the sky. They have Banshees. They have ground vehicles that hover around, right? Terrifying. We have defenses for all of those things. We have turrets that aim up. We have flak guns that aim up. We're used to taking down aircraft. Do you know what the Locusts have?
They have worms.
They have planet-sized. They have. I don't think you understand.
City-sized worms. I know. I'm aware. I played 4.
There's no turret that aims to the ground.
We don't have anti-ground guns. We don't have anti-underground guns.
We are infinitely more capable as a current society to fend off the Covenant now than we are the Locust. Absolutely, I will die on that hill. I don't think we are, but I think we are.
I think we have items.
We would still be. Don't get me wrong. I think we'd be fucked regardless, but we'd have a way better shot at getting through to the fucking.
The idea is this: since they come from below, they will be able to surprise us, right? That is a truth. They have the ability to surprise us, and we have nothing to really do with that. I mean, we can have things that can monitor, like geo activity. But, how the fuck do you stop a city from sinking,
You don't.
But the thing about the Covenant is that we have no means of combating them. We have no means. They have armor that literally has shields on it. Like, you shoot an elite and the bullets won't hurt him. It'll just hit his shield. Grunts are the size of you, Derrick, and wider than you. If one of them gets inside of a building, it's taking a lot of people with them, Then they blow themselves up. Then when they realize, oh man, I can't win this fight, I'm going to blow myself up with plasma grenades, I do think that the Covenant has you're right, they have a possibility that they can be reasoned with. But when it comes to combat, they're going to drop some, if we're doing what's the name of the mode in Halo? If we're doing firefight, right? I would any day rather have I'd rather deal with Horde than firefight.
See,
right.
If the question was about an invasion, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
It was an invasion. And now, is the invasion with the intent to kill all, humans? Is that it? Because it doesn't specify, because to me...
I would assume...
If there is... I don't think there should be an assumption. An invasion could really just be somebody just coming down to chill, but then other people, would assume it's an invasion.
You don't invade. That's not what an invasion is. Someone coming down to chill. Someone's coming down to chill. An invasion.
Yeah, but you don't know that though. You don't know. What I'm saying is you don't know that. If aliens came down in droves, is like right now, if aliens came down in droves, people would automatically assume it's an invasion.
That's true.
It's like District 9. Like District 9, like when the ship landed in fucking South Africa or whatever, that would technically qualify as an invasion, even though it's not technically an invasion.
No, it's not. That's not an invasion. That's what an invasion is.
You're missing the point. It's like literally based on who's looking at it from what angle.
Yeah,
like you could
interpret it as an invasion.
You could interpret what happened in District 9 as that's an alien invasion because aliens have literally come down to our planet and decided to live here. Like that's not
true.
We had no say in it.
That's interpret, but this person is giving.
No, it's not interpret. If I walk into your house,
interpretation.
Kingston, let me ask you something. If I walked into your house, like we don't live together, you don't know me. I walked into your house, set up a tent in your basement. I meant you no harm. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to take anything. I'm just saying, hey, I'm just gonna set up shop here. I'm gonna live here.
That's intruding. That's not invading. That's intruding. They're a different thing.
That's a home invasion.
The space.
That's a home invasion. That's the definition of a home invasion, Kingston. What I've just given you.
That's true. But the thing is that if like let's say right now, he said they are invading, right?
Right.
That means I would assume that they're invading with hostile intent. Because that's what the question's giving me. I'm not gonna work around and try to figure out what he means. Like, oh yeah, they're coming to invade.
Yes.
I'm going to defend myself. That's it. They're here to kill us.
I am willing to assume that given the nature of the question, that yeah, it's probably a violent invasion. They're probably going to be like, let's get rid of these people and then just take the planet, and we'll probably be able to get through these couple billion people in like not too long of a time. Let's just get rid of them and take the planet and use it for whatever the fuck we want after they're gone. That would be my assumption as to what like, because that's kind of what like both of them are doing anyway in their respective games.
Now don't get me wrong.
But I'd feel like
what's up?
No, I was just gonna say I feel like, factions of the Covenant, you can. It's like what's the deal? Why is this happening? And then there would be, I feel like there can be dialogue and conversation. I really do. Like if we're trying to get like really into the,
you're very right about that. The Covenant, they're more
I feel like the
human,
grunt,
so they can
like
talk to them.
Well, I feel like I like when it comes to like locusts and then different parts of locusts. It's just like they're literally mindless drones.
They're brainless.
And
they're
so
drones.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that?
I understand.
Like, you just have to
what
deal
you guys
with these.
Talking about. But
meats.
if they're invading to kill us, any day of the week, I'm choosing. I'm pretty sure with luck, in a lucky shot, I could kill a locust. With a lucky shot of a shotgun, I could probably blow its head off.
Yeah, I don't.
There's no
unless
way.
you're fighting a sire or a boomer or fucking any number of other.
I understand.
A berserker, dude. Like
a brumok. Have you thought about the brumoks?
That's true, but think of it like this:
I don't think anybody knows what that is. What the hell is that? I don't even know what that is.
The brumak. Those are the thing in the first trailer, like the big like hulking thing with like the gun on its back, the giant like
the thing with like the
dinosaur
fucking turret
thing
on its back.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
think of
but
it
I think like the berserkers, like those fucking giant chicks that just run at you. If they literally fucking hit you, you explode.
Yeah,
the blind.
They're made of diamond. They're made of like fucking diamond and shit.
Kingston, I think you're really underestimating these things because you haven't played these as extensively. Look, and I think that's fair.
I'm not underestimating them, Chris. I just know what the Covenant's capable of, dude.
But you can take the Covenant's guns.
You can't use them. They're not built for our hands.
What? You can use them. Marines use them all the time. What are you talking about?
Chris, think of...
Don't argue with me on this.
What? You're right. You're right about that. Chris, think of the idea. Think if they just send one invisible Sandhealy. They send droves of invisible Sandhealy to kill people. That's it. We can't even track them.
Here's what we'll do. I wish you could set up.
To you guys.
I wish you could set up polls in YouTube comments. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
It's astounding that that's not even something that they've even tried. But
right.
I'm curious as to what the audience thinks of this. If anybody's like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know any of these who haven't played Gears.
It's also hard to compare them because they're so fucking different. Like say if Sweeney, like if you played Mass Effect, like maybe I can be like, oh, the Turians would be a better comparison to the Covenant because they're highly intelligent and they have a bunch of military stuff. Like there was the first war they had, the first contact war was with the Turians. There was like a huge thing. It's like it would be easier to compare with the type of aircraft and intelligence and all that shit where the Locusts are so fucking different. Like, so I think that's kind of where it kind of comes into where it's like you're thinking of the superior firepower and tactics and everything that they have versus these ground drones where it's like kind of a hard thing to you. Like, well, easy. Because, I mean, I will admit, the fucking Covenant would decimate the fucking locusts. You know?
I think so, too.
Yeah, so
that's where my argument comes from. With all the
I see where you're coming from with that. I just feel like the locust shit seems much more terrifying to me because it's like there's ground monsters like these moles that they look like fucking 17 gorillas put together. Like they're too big. They're too big.
Now I know that the drones are definitely like because one drone, like I'm sure a gunshot could kill one of them.
I don't think so, man.
Like a deagle, when you have like
a fucking lancer, when you have your lancer, your machine gun, you have to empty like almost the whole fucking thing to like take one down.
They're all muscle, and all of it is just driven by just a sheer hive, like a pure hive-minded will. It's like it's almost like there's no impetus to even recognize pain.
But I guess my biggest thing when it comes to me, because you know obviously we our answers are going to differ. My thing is the perception, like just like a dog barking. It frightens me way more than the threat of it actually biting me.
That's very true.
And I feel like the locusts, they look so fucking terrifying. Like I don't really feel terrified when I see like any type of Covenant, elite, grunt, anything. The hunters, they just look like, they look cool to me. But they don't look fucking, they don't scare the shit out of me like say a regular fucking locust piece of shit. Like I'm like, dude, that is terrifying.
Yeah. They're scary. Yo, that moment in the first Gears game, I'm getting into a Gears of War mood, kind of.
So am I.
I kind of want to play it.
I haven't played Gears in so long, but I've hit the fuck out of it.
Bitch. Dom!
Dude,
that moment died.
That moment in the first game where like they introduced the blind the berserker is fucking
scary, dude.
Terrifying. Like still like I think if I played that
like
today,
in a
like
church.
Still,
and you gotta like click your empty magazine, and it'll turn around and like run towards you, run into the wall.
Yeah, and it just
somehow
breaks.
Get the Hammer of Dawn.
Just breaking through shit.
Yeah, and you got a Hammer of Dawn outside. That's such a great like. They're scary, man. Like I don't know. Like I would want the opportunity to fight like a grunt, even if I know it would kill me, because I just know that like, oh man, at least there's like tech here that I could like fuck around with. Like if I get lucky and I hit like a grunt with my car or whatever the fuck, and I could like suddenly like I have this tech that's like, oh man, a plasma pistol, this is cool. It'd be a two-handed weapon for me because it's so big. But you know, just for that me, there's none of that exists with the Locust. They just come up there with like normal ass ballistic guns from
shit
like
that they take from you guys.
Yeah, bullshit that they've gotten from the cog, from the Gears, right?
It's fucking scary, man. Like I don't know, like anything that comes from below is fucking scary.
The size what scares me, because I was not afraid of grunts until I realized the size they were. And then I realized how big Sanheli are, and I was like, what the fuck?
Also, they are huge. Like the Covenant are
That's a good point.
All the Covenant are really big. I'll grant you that.
Like a hunter, or what is it called?
They just don't look that big because fucking Spartans are pretty goddamn big.
What's the name of the rhino dudes? I forgot the names. Oh my god, the brutes. There is no. If one brute was put inside of a building, like a fucking 5-story building in New York City, he's killing everybody in that building, and he's gonna be fine.
He might actually be at a disadvantage because he's not big enough. Or he's not small enough to maneuver through the building well.
He could probably break through shit.
But, fuck, I got interrupted. Oh, the other thing with the Locust that is like a horrifying implication, right? If they're invading, like I'm assuming that these things are invading the way that they would in the game, right? They're coming up. Mm-hmm. They're coming up from the ground. The implications of that are terrifying by themselves.
Absolutely.
Because that means that the Earth, the way that the Earth is structured is not at all. It's just not at all what the fuck we thought it was. Like there's enough room in the crust, the Earth's crust, to sustain cities and fucking entire civilizations. Like I'm more comfortable.
How did we not notice this?
Yeah, how did we not notice? Like, how is this just coming? Like, nobody fracking noticed this.
all the
some fucking oil
all the
tycoon.
fucking mountain Halloween. They didn't fucking notice
hell
that
is
there was
that?
fucking creatures down there living there.
All the oil tycoons, yeah, they're just like, are you noticing all of these like weird like gorilla men coming up in our oil oil?
Imagine they hit a fucking oil vein and a fucking whole ass locust shoots out.
Bro,
Just
that's
like
probably
plops on the floor.
That's a different world, man.
Then
That's
it
a
gets
different
up and
world.
kills
entirely.
everybody there.
I'm actually really curious how tall, like in real, how tall is a locust?
The drones, right?
Gears of War. 7 feet tall. So that's how tall the drones are.
That's so
The
fucking
the
stupid.
normal ones.
That's
So they're
fucking
They're all
big, dude.
shacks, dude. They're all. And like the main boss in the first one, like how tall is that fuck?
The dude with
Because
the
that
fucking,
motherfucker
with the
was
fucking,
like,
with the fucking crow aura around him.
yeah.
Oh my god,
yeah,
Ram!
hated that
General,
dude.
General Ram is like, he must
I
be like
hated
fucking
him, dog.
15. He must be almost as tall as Caillou. Fucking.
Dude.
Oh, he's 10 feet. He looks
10
way.
feet?
He looks way
He
taller
looks
than 10
way
feet.
taller.
He's
does
way
look
tall.
way
He's definitely
taller.
taller than that. That's not true.
That's what it's. I don't know. This is the first thing that I'm seeing on aminoacids.com.
I mean,
Arbiter
could that get any
is,
more broy?
Dude, there's look. So one of those. A drone is 7 feet tall, right?
Master Chief is 10
San
feet,
Hel-
7 feet tall.
Sanhelis are about 8.5 feet tall, dude.
They're taller, yeah.
Not to mention the maneuverability of them, dude.
Look, we won't
They're
keep going on.
big,
We won't keep going on.
And they're
like,
quick. They're
I'm
really
curious,
quick.
I'm curious as to what the audience who has any context for any of this. If you've
That's
played
true.
Gears, if you played Halo, if you have any
Hunters are 10
generalized
feet tall, too.
understanding, I'm curious as to what the audience thinks because this is probably like the longest we've spent on
Hunters are 10
anything.
feet tall, but they're more
Yeah,
wide.
hunters are 10
though.
feet tall.
They're more
Hunters
wide.
are hunters are huge. Yeah,
Okay.
I also think we're not really taking into account like 10 feet. Like we think is like, oh, that's not so tall.
Oh, no, that's
But
gargantuan.
It's pretty fucking like it's.
Look, I'm 6'2". I'm 6'2". My father's 6'6", and he's big. He's
I have
a
a
big
measuring
big
tape.
man.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's-
could
it's-
imagine fighting somebody. Could you imagine fighting someone that's stronger than they should be at 8 feet tall and they're fast? I would
That's
be
so fucking
crying.
terrifying.
I'd
That's
be
so
crying. I'm
terrifying.
like, why are you so fast? Why are you so fast?
That's fucking terrifying. And they're like, yeah, dude, being as tall as a basketball hoop, man. Being like fucking 10 feet tall and then just being able to fucking maneuver like
Quick.
you're whatever. Like you're
You're
anything.
quick, dude. Imagine, you know what terrifies me the most? Imagine fighting someone and you blinking your eyes and they're
Nah, dude.
completely out of your range.
That is
of sight.
scary.
I've never experienced that, but that could fucking kill me, dude. You blink and he's like in back of you and you're like, huh?
That's too
Nah.
that's too fast.
Nah, dude, that's not hot.
How much did you
I got up to 9 feet before I ran out of space in the room. So like a 10
in that
foot
room.
a 10-foot creatures, but that I think that's actually right. I think that's pretty accurate. 10 feet's fucked. Like I don't want to deal with anything that's
Yeah,
that's
I wouldn't
that tall.
fight that guy. I wouldn't fight him. I would just try. I would hope I could run away from him long enough that he'd eventually break through something and die. Like some weird occurrence happens and he gets hit by a fucking like random saw blade from through the window and he dies.
All right, let's move
Imagine.
on.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Move on. Let's get out of Jesus Christ. Thanks a lot, the whole IRS.
Now we're never gonna forget it.
Yeah, that's gonna be all over the comments, I'm sure. Fidel Cashflow, nice.
That's pretty sick.
Wrote in. Says, "Hello, my adobo flavored Oreo. Do you guys have any real life escort mission stories to share with us? My best one was where I had to stop my drunk friend off of a what? Had to stop my friend drunk off of a bottom shelf whiskey from getting mollywopped by a girl's boyfriend at a Rise Against concert. Holy shit!
That's pretty dope.
It's real specific. I had to lock him in my car and make him sleep it off. Man, oh shit! I'm trying to escort mission.
There was one of our friends. Eric, Chris remembers this day. There's one of our friends who got really drunk. So she's our friend. She's a great girl, but she tends to get like fucking like blitzed every time she comes here. I'm not gonna say the person's name, but you know,
right?
the one for the she's the same girl for that
I'll
Selma
just-
sent our friend. to like disappear. Life is Emily.
Okay, well,
one time she was really drunk, and I sleep in the living room in our old apartment, our first one. She was really drunk, and she was like, I'm gonna go home now. I'm gonna drive home, and I was like, hey, dude, you probably shouldn't do that. You know, you're very drunk. And I had to wake up. That was like one of the most instinctively nice things I ever did, because I woke up out of my sleep. I was half asleep still, and I was like, hey, dude, don't drive home drunk. You'll get in a car crash. And I had to stay up with her for like 3 hours till she passed out, and then I passed back out. But she almost just went off, drove across town in Glendale, California, where, mind you, you could get into a car crash by obeying every rule possible.
Yeah, it's driving in Glendale, California is
a nightmare.
It's fucking twisted metal. You know, there's no semblance of any rule of law. Like it's like
Crazy Taxi, but you're like,
yeah, it's like Crazy Taxi and like Mario Kart battle mode. You know, It's just like none of it makes any sense. It's really wild. So yeah, that's probably a good call. Yeah, that did happen in the old apartment.
That was wild. I was fucking terrified. What about you guys?
Oh my god, I'm still trying to think. I don't think I've really been around. Like, I didn't see. The issue is escort missions are typically like stories like that, where like you've got a drunk person or you got somebody blitzed out of their mind, and you're trying to get them through something. You're trying to like, all right, I'll get you home safely or whatever the fuck. Yeah. But the chances are, like when I was younger, I didn't really hang out at I didn't really hang with people who were doing that. Like I wasn't really drinking a lot in high school. Like I didn't drink at all until I was 20, because I had like a very specific like thing against alcohol. I was like I can't do it. But the second I started, it was like there was not going to be a situation where there was somebody else who was drunk and I wasn't. Yeah, it was just not going to happen. That's like that just was not in the cards. So I feel like people probably have pretty good escort missions about me, but I have nothing. I've never helped anyone who was drunk.
You're a pretty good drunk. I've never seen you like fucking. I've seen you in agony, but I've never seen you like fucking like falling on the floor and shit like that. You've definitely seen me like really plastered, like to the point that I'm wilding out, but only like maybe once or twice. I kind of stopped drinking like that because like I was like 21 and I was already like regularly used to getting blackout drunk, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna die young. So I chilled
What
out.
a thought! What a thought to just pass through your brain like that. I'm gonna die young. I should stop. Yeah, like fucking, I don't know. Like I'm typically pretty self-aware, even when I am I remember there were many occasions where I was the drunkest person in the room, like by far, like by a reasonable margin, and I was still being like, "Hey guys, we should keep it down," you know. Like I remember these moments of lucidity where it's like, "Hey guys, keep it down. I don't want to get a noise complaint," and then I would turn around and go back to being fucking plastered and being just like destroyed. I don't know. I gotta ask around to people who I've been drunk around.
What about you, Derrick?
I have one story that I think I kept off the internet because of just how bad somebody could try to make it sound, but like nothing happened. But it could have been completely disastrous. Where when I think I was like 18 or something, and I was in a band. I was in this metal band with like we're all like 17, 18, and we just got done playing a show. And our bassist was in his Suburban, and like we invited some people into it. So it was like some girls from the show and some other people I didn't fucking know, because they're all from like La Mirada, Norwalk, and all this shit. And it broke down, and my car was parked at the bassist's house, and it's like, fuck, this is annoying. So his mom came, took some of us one way, and then some other people went another way. And so there was like 2 or 3 people left over when we got back to the bassist's house, and it was these 2 girls that needed like a ride somewhere, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm going this way. I'll drop you guys off wherever you need to go. I think they were sisters. I don't fucking know. I don't really remember. All I know is it was like one of them was like could you drop me off in front of not in front of NBC Suites, but at NBC Suites? I'm gonna go to a fucking party. And I'm like, fine, it's on the way. So, and I'm like, all right, I feel weird. I don't want to just drop. What if she gets like murdered or something? That's stupid. So I actually walked her up there just to make sure everything was fine. And the weird thing was there's a bunch of dudes like partying, like being very like promiscuous. Some dude was doing like blow in the bathroom. Was like, what the fuck's happening here? And then one of the guys was like, hey, where you been all my life? And I was like, oh, dude, I gotta go. I was like, I gotta go. This shit's getting wild. Yeah.
Should have gave him a smooch. You could have got some free coke, man.
Yeah, I wasn't really into that. I was just like, to me, I just wanted to go home, play the long show, whatever. And then the last girl, I'm like, all right, so where the fuck's your home? Where do you want me to take? And then
Where's your home?
I don't remember where, but I remember I turned around and cut through this alley that I like to go through sometimes, and a cop happened to be chilling in that alley, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. Now, I'm not thinking shit because I'm not doing anything wrong, but it is like 2 a.m. or something. So this is where the story gets fucked up. The cop starts tailing me, and I'm like, oh, fucking dumbass. And then I'm like, oh, everything should be cool. I'm like, are you good? I'm like, you're fucking like, how old are you? Like, curfew's fine. And then I forgot. I think she was like 17 or something too, because like a lot of the band members are 17, 18. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, that seems awful. And then so I'm like kind of thinking like, oh, this could go like wrong because I'm already 18. Like this could be terribly wrong. Anyway, I pull over. And he asked me, like, oh, yeah, well, who's this chick, whatever, and stuff. And the guy, and this sucks because he was a brother, and he was, like, kind of giving me attitude. And then he was like, yeah, you're out kind of late and stuff. Like, who is this? And I explained exactly what I told you guys. And he's like, you know, I've been in this business a long time. Like, I just don't believe you. And I'm like, I have no reason to lie, bro. And then so he had to call this fucking broad's parents just to, like, make sure. And here's the worst thing. He was like, all right, would you mind stepping out of the car for me? And I was like, no problem. And here's the worst part. So around 2000, I think this was 2006, I was getting like really fucking fat. Like that was like, and no muscle. So my pants that I was wearing, especially after a hard played show, I unbuttoned the top one. Like just the top button. You know, my zipper isn't down or anything. But the thing is, when his partner was like, "Do you mind searching you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't fucking care." Down? He saw my pant was unbuttoned, the button was unfastened, and he was like, what the hell is going on here? And I was like, I was like, dude, you're not going to believe me, but I'm just getting fat, bro. And then he's like, you're right, I don't believe you. Long story short, I got so lucky that her fucking parents showed up, and they were just like, yeah, dude, whatever, like, why the fuck are you bothering me? Like, there was like, both of them showed up, and it was like something happened, I guess. Nothing happened to me. Like, it was totally fine, but he didn't believe me. And the parents said, like, yeah, that bitch supposed to be at the show. And then, obviously, all of that bullshit happened to where...
That is
died.
That is what I have grown accustomed to calling a Seinfeldian circumstance.
It was
that is
it
so like everything
so
could
wrong.
have not been around anymore. You could have been a memory, bro.
That's like our friend Paul has had a similar thing, like where he was driving across the country. He was driving across the country. He was like moving across the country. So he had all of his stuff in his car, like a lot of like his important belongings in his car. And then he was like taking it slow. He was like driving from Florida to California. It's a long drive. You stop off some places, you hang out. And then, you know, one day his car was stolen. And people like they stole it to joyride and to like steal shit from other places. And apparently they caught the guys and they got his car, and they got it back to him, and he was able to drive to L.A. But you know he was like, yeah, I need my car, I got to drive it. So I'm sorry, like, oh, but it's evidence. It's like, I get it, but like I need my car. So they gave him his car. It's covered in fingerprint dust. It's covered in like the fingerprint dust that they use to scan for fucking prints and like figure out like where people are going. And then he realizes, oh, I got to go to the airport to pick up a friend of mine who's landing in LA the same day I get there. So he drives to the airport in a car that is covered in fingerprint dust, that is registered still technically as stolen. with his appliances, like a pressure cooker, with his guns. And he pulls up to the airport, and he's like, he stops by security. He's like, hey, listen, I have guns and a pressure cooker in my car. I swear I'm not trying to pull it, but just like the idea that you could end up in that situation where you're like, you end up at an airport with a gun, a pressure cooker, and a stolen car is just like, and
That
you've
could've
done
gone
nothing.
so fucking wrong.
And you've done nothing wrong. That's like, I was cracking the fuck up when he was telling
Life
this
is
to me.
wild, dude.
I
That's
got
a
lucky
Seinfeldian
that like,
circumstance.
what if that chick's
Her
parents
parents
were like just evil? What if they're
Yeah.
like,
Freaking
"Oh,
assholes.
this
Would've
guy,
died.
he's trying to do something to my dog." Like I would have been fucked. I would be a completely different person. It would be complete. Like I would have been totally fucked.
You wouldn't have made it this far. You would have been a memory.
And I was
That
just
is-
trying to be nice. So the moral of the story is
be nice.
don't be nice.
Don't be nice, be smart, bro.
I mean, really, but who would have thought, like, oh, I'm just giving. The problem was, I guess, I didn't know these people. And that's where, because usually, but I'm just like, oh, well, they're friends with the band, obviously. So it shouldn't be a problem. I'll just drop them off and I'm going to go home, get a fucking burrito, and then go to sleep. And, yeah, that shit was fucking terrifying. That shit was terrifying. Especially that dude was that cop really wanted to nail me, man. Like,
Yeah.
he really thought, like, he busted, like, some fucking pervert or something. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to be a hero or something. He was being a dick.
Yeah,
And,
cops are.
Cops are more often than not
Cops can
dickheads.
be pretty antagonistic, like for no reason. Like I remember, I met my I met my girlfriend. She was at this. She dances at a club, and this was in New York. This is a while ago. This is like a year ago at this point. And I was like, I went to go pick her up. It's obviously like late at night because it's a dancer's place. Like it's a fucking it's a club, and I'm driving her home. Right, and then a cop shows up behind me. I'm like, oh my god! And I'm in New York at the time. My car's not there. I rented a car, so the car's not mine. I don't have registration. The car smells like alcohol because I've just come out of a club, right? And like, this dude was like, "Hey, you been drinking tonight?" It's like, "Nah, I'm just really tired. It's really fucking late. I know this isn't my car. I don't have my registration or anything." And it was just like this weird. The only reason I got out of it is because. He saw the girl in my fucking passenger seat, and was just like, I guess whatever. Like she talked him out of it. I was like, I would have been fucked.
Yeah, if it was just you, he would have fucking knocked your head around.
It was just me. I was just driving home in a car that's not mine, and I reeked of alcohol. God damn it!
I love it. It's the worst, dude. I haven't had a cop experience in a long while because I don't really drive too often.
Yeah.
But, like, I just don't want to deal with it. Because I'll be like, look, officer, I just don't want to. Just, what do you want? What do you need? I'll just give you. You want me to suck your dick? Just leave me alone, man. I just want to get out of this. I just want to get.
Yeah, it's. The funny thing is, a lot of. I don't know. Because I was talking to my mom and she thought, like, oh, make sure, being in LA makes sure you're safe, And I told her, I'm like, honestly, I feel safer here because more people look like me. So they really don't have any reason to single me out. And I don't drive like an asshole.
That's true.
And I would say 60% of the cars on the road drive like complete assholes. It's astonishing how I can't even believe it. I was just like, wow, these people are risking death every few minutes. And anyway, yeah, like, but when I lived more where I grew up, it was much easier to like pull me over. Like, oh, this random black kid. There isn't that many black people where in my fucking hometown, so I get pulled over every once in a while. And when I got a new car, I don't know if I ever told this on the story, but like real quick, it was I purchased something from this auto dealership. Like, oh, I financed the car, like a piece of shit, and didn't have the license plate on yet, but it had a DMV paper in the window, so it's like, oh, a cop should know what this is. He pulled me over anyway because I was traveling with my black friend Brandon, and the weird thing was, and I showed so much restraint because when he walked up to the window, he just opened the door immediately. And I was so appalled that my instinct was to be like, what the fuck are you doing? But I'm like, don't say anything. He's going to fucking beat your ass.
Yeah.
But I was so shocked that I'm like, can you do this?
No.
Like, he just opened the door before he said anything.
You're not supposed to, yeah, they're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, and it was my dumbass fault for not having it locked, but still, I was so fucking shocked. This was probably like 2015 or something, 2016. It was nuts.
That's
Dude,
how
I
I
have
beat
so
my
many-
guy.
I have so
Yeah,
many
but I think that's how a lot of people get Swiss cheese, though, man. They do the reaction they have is the wrong reaction, and then they get fucking the shit kicked out of them because my reaction, my first instinct would have been the right reaction, right?
Yeah,
But
it would have been a fair
if you
reaction,
want to
but-
live, that's the wrong reaction.
Yeah,
So some-
everybody's
some wild
first
shit.
everybody's first reaction whenever they're pulled over is like, "Fuck this asshole
Yeah.
for like inconveniencing me." I'm already stuck on this planet, and I have a long day, and now it's longer because I have to talk to this drone of the law who's just going to be treating me like I've already done something incorrect.
Right.
And it's just like, oh my god,
It's like
just
pushing
this
you.
yeah, because it's not like the thing is, it's like they're not pulling you over because you did something right, you know. Like you're immediately in a position.
Yes.
You're
True.
immediately in a position where you're antagonized, like right off the bat. So it's already like an uncomfortable situation because it's like, all right, I'm being harassed, and I can't do anything about it. Like I just have to fucking deal with it. I can't even tell you how many times, like in my head, I've just like screamed at these people as I'm like smiling. You know, I'm just like, oh, you know, I'm just coming home, and I'm just on my way home after it's been a long day, you know. And in my head, I'm like, I can't wait for you to go home and like you find your wife with someone else. I'm just,
They deserve it. They all deserve it.
it's infuriating. It's just so fucking infuriating. But that's just part of it, I guess.
True
I can't
that.
even tell. Like I remember when me and Jalen were driving. Miraculously, when me and Jalen were driving across the country, we made it from New York to California in about like 2.5 days, 3 days. We really booked it,
Right.
but we only got pulled over twice, and it was me first and then him in two. I think it was in Pennsylvania and in Ohio, so like 2 consecutive states. We got pulled over. And we got
interesting.
tickets. We got speeding tickets because we were just we were hauling ass. But I don't know, man. Cops aren't fun. They're not
They're not
fun.
great.
And
What's next? What's next? End it on a
yeah,
high
what do we
note.
got? We got time for one more.
Yeah.
End
So
on a
let's
high
see.
note.
And on a high note. Oh, you're putting a lot of pressure on this
That's
next
some
guy.
bullshit. So we can laugh our asses off. I need
You're
it.
putting okay.
I haven't cackled at all this episode.
How many family members of yours died?
Like
That's the
period.
question. That's the question. It's the
Like,
final
period?
question.
I could ask. I could count.
What's your
Just
favorite
one.
moment from Schindler's List?
When Qui-Gon Jinn fucking has the final battle with fucking Hitler?
Holy
When Qui-Gon Jinn says he went out hunting for black people to kill.
He did that, didn't he?
He did do that. Because someone in his family got sexually assaulted by a black person. He was
need
like,
to
I'm just
find
going to
a
kill a
block.
random black person.
Yeah.
He
I
lived
guess
not far from us.
What?
He lived in New Paltz.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
it was a long time ago, but it's still pretty crazy that, you ever
I've
got
never
to that
thought
situation.
that ever. I've never thought that. If my cousin gets beat up by an Asian person, I'm not going to go hunt down Asian people, period, you know?
You never
mean,
thought
come
that?
on.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy, huh?
You need to talk to Mark Wahlberg some more.
Yo, he almost killed somebody, bro. Marky Mark in a funk bunch.
It's so crazy. Like, hate crimes, it's like, you never fathom it, but there's like plenty of them, and celebrities at that.
You know what I found out recently? Maybe this is one of those things where I feel like I learn it every couple of years because I learn it, I'm staggered by it, and I forget it because I can't retain the information. Steven Crowder used to voice Arthur.
Who's Steven
What,
Crowder?
you mean
again?
like the
The
that
cartoon.
little kid?
The cartoon.
What?
Who's
Yeah.
Steven Crowder? What the fuck?
Steven Crowder's a conservative
He's
commentator.
the change my mind meme.
Yeah, he's the guy in the
like,
Change My
he's-
Mind.
He's sitting at the chair and it says something, change my mind. I photoshopped Chris next to him where it says women are property, change my mind.
That's
that?
an old. I forgot you did that. Oh no, he voiced Brain on Arthur in seasons 5 and 6. But he's like,
What
but
the hell?
like
He's a voice actor.
apparently, and he voiced this character in Arthur.
Putting
Oh
like
my God,
conservative ideals
this
into kids'
fucking-
heads.
This fucking guy. Oh my God. Yeah, I hate him. I hate his content. He makes me angry.
Oh, I don't know.
Did
I don't know.
you ever see? Did you ever see his video where he tried to downplay the AIDS epidemic? It's
I
the
did
most
see that, yeah.
bizarre video I've ever seen. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't
wasn't
know
it-
why would you want to
I'm
do
pretty sure.
that?
I'm pretty sure you also tried to downplay like race in America, and I was just like, bro,
I'm sure
you're so stupid.
if
Shut
he would
up.
downplay AIDS, I'm sure he's done everything else because
Yeah,
that's just
AIDS is the bottom
bizarre.
of the bucket. That's the bottom of the bucket.
You know, AIDS wasn't that bad, right? And I'm like,
It's like, are
why?
you sure?
Why would you even say? Let's give it to him. Let's say even if it was the case, what's the why?
Yeah.
What does that do?
It has to reach
know.
mass consciousness, or else everybody's gonna keep giving AIDS the fucking AIDS the slippery it gets,
All right,
man.
we got a good final one. We got a good final one here. You thought I was his name is you thought I was Nezuko Kamado, but it's really me, Leroy Jenkins. That's his whole name. He wrote in.
Oh, nice.
He says, "Hello, shorter George Lopez, slightly taller Kevin Hart, and discount Stevie Wonder." What do you guys want written on your tombstones? Personally, if I die in the military, I would want, I can't believe I died for this country. Love you guys. Stay awesome. P.S. Sweeney, seriously play Mass Effect Trilogy, you bloody heathen.
Oh my god, I'm so sick of
right.
hearing that.
Yeah, well, if only there was a way to
Okay.
stop that.
Okay, so what do I want to?
Back once more.
Don't bring me back. Don't bring me
like it.
back.
Don't bring me back. Short
Yeah.
and simple. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't bring me back.
Oh man, I don't know. I feel like I would want something a little misdirection. Like I'm not really under this.
Yeah, something.
Like something like or you know what? I was like I'm still out there. Or just something
a
like
good one.
Just to make your wife and kids and everybody feel terrible, you know. Just this son's like, I gotta dig him up, mom. He's like, don't dig him up. I gotta dig him up, mom. He said he's not down there. Why would he lie about that? Then he would dig it up and find your decomposing body, and he would fuck his brain up even more.
Yeah.
You know what I'd want, like, just an obscure fucking just chapter of a book, and it means nothing. It means absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
like page 40 of the Chamber of Secrets or something.
we're just explaining like one of the characters is just walking somewhere, and it means nothing. Like
It's just a fucking out of context quote. I wouldn't be opposed to like denigrating whoever's buried next to me. You know,
Why? What'd they do to you?
nothing, but like just like the person to the left of this deserved it.
Oh my god.
You know, or something like that. Or
Or
even
you
just
call
you know what? Actually, you know what? I'll take it. I'll redirect it towards me. I deserved this.
That's a good one.
I'll
it.
put
I like
it. That'll be my tombstone.
You spill your secrets to your wife as you die. It's like, honey, I cheated twice, and I have another family.
Oh my god!
Just to fuck her fucking rest of her life up. They're gonna come looking for inheritance soon.
I like it. How about despite what my death certificate says, I killed myself. I think that'd be a good one. Just to let people know, like it doesn't matter what it says on there. It's fucking bullshit. They're just
I
covering
grabbed
up.
the bulls by
Derrick,
the horn.
Derrick Blackman, absolutely suicide.
Absolutely wasn't.
And I want
suicide.
like a picture of me smiling with my fucking thumbs up and shit, like just like.
Oh, you know, dude, you got your R.I.P. Marcus.
Oh
Oh
shit!
my god.
Why did that not even come to
Infinite
mind?
bliss,
That's funny.
bro.
R.I.P. Marcus, and it should have your real name above it, so it's just like uber confusing.
That's perfect.
man.
Derrick Blackman, R.I.P. Marcus.
That's crazy that some carny killed me at like some guy at a fair did that. That is so crazy. That makes no sense. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. We try to like decipher how did that happen. Because why would somebody type in some black guy, right? Now,
Yeah.
does my name come up if you type in black guy? I don't know. Because
I
it's
think what
just like,
happened,
oh,
it
I
was
need.
some black guy. I think he just typed in black guy, random black guy, or something like that, and then
Like,
your name popped.
but like,
the
why
fuck
would you
up.
type like? That's the whole thing. Like, it's such a weird thing to stumble upon. I can't be the first thing that comes up other than some black guy. That's why it's so fucking strange to me. Like,
Yeah.
this fucking asshole.
You ever wonder what it's like to be the first person? You know, like if you Googled like white guy, like imagine what it's like being that person. Like,
That
when-
person?
The archetypical white guy on the internet.
Yeah, just Google's interpretation of like
God.
what a white person is. White guy.
I think I've seen you somewhere before. Yeah,
This guy looks kind of like Stefan Molyneux.
that's what you just. I was gonna say that.
Who's Stefan Molyneux? Is it that guy that does the food reviews?
No. I mean, he reviews Taylor Swift's eggs, but that's
What?
so this is the Google image for for white guy on Google. So that's
Yo, you know what's crazy? The fifth picture for me for white guy on Google is a black man.
It's a black guy with the fucking.
It's a black with fucking long hair.
He has like a Japanese haircut.
It says it's a black dude. I swear to God.
Why?
I swear to God. I'm gonna share my screen with you guys.
Read the headline, bro.
Don't share your screen. Don't share your screen. I'm gonna drag it in front of the capture. Fucking what the fuck?
Read what it says though. What is it?
What does it say?
This is why white guy shut down a black woman defending Kanye West, and what the fuck is happening?
The way this white guy shut down a black woman defending Kanye West in a black barbershop is pure gold. What the fuck is that headline? Yo, we have a lot of work to do to heal this planet.
If you click the fucking link, this shows you a picture of a white man with waves.
I'd also like to address the fact that what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the fifth result for white guy is a black dude with a Japanese haircut, and then the seventh result is Napoleon Dynamite. So we have quite an assortment of people here.
Why is there a white guy with waves, dude?
But on that note,
serious drip.
On that note, I think
speaking of waves, I saw a picture of some guy that had a puppy, and he put a do-rag on his puppy, and he brushed the puppy every day, and the puppy had waves.
Oh my God.
I can't believe you just interrupted my outro.
You just did that to totally.
He just doesn't give zero fucks.
Chris, do you not understand how ridiculous that is?
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about waves on a dog.
I do. What the fuck?
Why do you care about that?
Because dogs. Okay, you know what?
Is it cultural appropriation for a dog to have waves?
It depends on how the dog does his waves.
Well,
depends on the dog's attitude. If it's a black dog.
What do you mean?
If it's a black dog.
Like an
Can
African
black dogs say nigga? That should be the thumbnail. Can black dogs say nigga?
Oh my God.
Yeah, you can make that thumbnail if you want it. So
if you want it so bad, you gotta make it.
All right. Well, I don't even know how to. I don't know how to get out of this. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this daily dose of, or this weekly dose of trash over here at patreon.com/thesnarktank. Remember to like our stuff on iTunes. Give us reviews. It helps a bit. You know, we've got Snark Tank. We've got merch over at snarktankmerch.com. Obviously, on the Patreon, there are different tiers. We've got a Meat Canyon question thread up right now. So if you want a question asked to Meat Canyon, obviously make it a good one. I know a lot of people are going to be competing for eyes in that one. So like we gotta get some good ones. Get some good ones. But obviously over on our Patreon, $1 a month gets you early access to the show. $5 gets you a question read on the show. $10 gets you access to our Discord server. And $25 gets you your name dyslexically read at the end of the show, which I will now do.
3, 2, 1.
The strap-on Lacey used to peg Chris with a $25 sub. God damn, dude. Sweeney's Costa Rican girlfriend. Holman Brown's. How do they know about that?
What are you talking about? What?
Do
I even know any Costa Ricans?
Holman Brown 98. No, you don't. No, you don't, Sweeney. You don't know any Costa Rican girls. Holman Brown 98. Diego Andre Hernandez. Hey, boss, can you follow me on Twitter, please? Ryan Lucchesi. I'm changing one letter every week to try to give Chris a brain aneurysm. That's fucked up. Sloshy Scout. Sony. Keith David shot Uncle Ben. Please check out my podcast. How do we even get here every Thursday? You thought I was that Japanese name that I said earlier, but it was really me. Leroy Jenkins. Master Chief's hard as a rock, armor locked cock. Matthew Barrett Clark. Lol JK eat shit live, you goblin twink. Hard hat skydiver. Chris has a high voice for a lesbian. Absolute wagon. Chris is now an empty husk of meat driven by the army of 101 bananas that will take Sweeney next. All new, all different. Paul Joseph Watson after he learned the Donkey Kong ground pound.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Can somebody please convince Paul Joseph Watson to go on TikTok and peel a banana? Like I desperately want to see that, but I only want to see it if the little TikTok logo is like flashing here and flashing there, and then it ends with his little screen that says Paul Joseph Watson on TikTok. Monkey Monk, I was cock-blocked by a turtle. Alaskan oil field trash. Chris would be a twink if he gave into his urges. Lil Short Dick.
That's a good fucking hip-hop name, dude.
Lil Short Dick.
Yo, Lil Short Dick.
Little tiny dick, the boy.
Lieutenant Lifton, not an FBI agent, Juan Punchman, Marcus Shorten, Mr. Fuck, Abusi, The Time Sweeper, Papa Nurgle, Ben Shapiro's Sleep Paralysis P-Word, Danny DeVito's Perfectly Preserved Penis, I Require Chris Piss, Murder Ascended, David Connolly, The Dyslexic That Feels Chris's Pain, Dunderhead, Homosexual POC from the Cosmos, Lobotomized, from the Cosmos.
He's from space.
But he's also a person of color. From space. I guess that's inherently like a person of color, right?
No, not exactly.
Right? Because they're a minority. Like they're inherently like they're probably like the most POC.
No. That's not how that works.
How does it work?
A person of color refers to humans. You can't give aliens the same shit. That's an alien.
You're so
You
racist.
can't call an alien a person of
It's
color.
aliens.
It's not a human.
Okay, can a dog have a personality?
I don't know. They have traits. They can't really have personality. They can't have a whole developed one.
Dogs can't have
They
a
can have
personality.
traits.
Are you sure about that?
They can have personality traits. They can't have personality.
They can have the traits of a personality, but not a personality.
Yeah, because a dog's not smart enough to have personality.
That's right. They are stupid. Lobotomized Jesus
I would say
is my drooling divine savior. Heiko, 7-year-old fetus.
That's late term.
Not gonna cut that out. Moto Zealot, a Russian name that I can't pronounce. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't keep.
Wasn't it
translating
something
your
about
name.
like assing something with an ass?
Oh,
or
like
I-
so-
Oh my
something.
God. It's
Something.
Ass Hunter or something like that.
No. Hold on. I guess I'll fucking do it.
Ass Blaster.
No, fuck me.
it had to
Goddamn,
do with
just-
eating ass.
Yeah. Translate. I came to eat your ass. Okay.
There it
it.
is.
Remember that for next time when I get here.
Gotcha.
Hiroshima Spicy Mushroom, Slippery Steve, and the Stinky Sticky Silicone Sex Toy Cyber Monday Blowout Sale. Supersonic Sween Peen Machine Requiem. A level 1 Cleric. Derrick's Unyielding Sex Drive. By the way, that guy I appreciate because his Derrick's Unyielding Sex Drive, the person, has a profile picture on Patreon of Kirby with headphones like bopping like this, and it's animated and it's wonderful.
How do you do
nice.
that?
I don't know. I think he just has if you put a GIF as your profile picture,
it
it
works.
does that.
Nice.
Dummy Thick Dave, Big Dude 0444, Heartless Wretch, aka the Black Man from Staten Island, Uncle Tony's Pizzeria and Abortion Clinic, where today's loss is tomorrow's sauce, Yummy Yummy Yummy, Come Inside My Tummy, the ghost that lived in the apartment above Kristen Sweeney, Jolly Old Dipshit, Hugger Derrick, the movie theater assistant manager, Carson Jones, Ethereum, the ghost of the weekly Raygun recap, David. I added David at the end there for some reason.
For some reason.
I just added a Keith David pun to it. The Progerian Hunter, Deflated Left Ass Cheek, All Hands on Dick, Arrow, Sunny Chance, Melphis 1, LQ LeBron, Richter 86, and as always, King of Haphazard. Thank you all.
King of
for
Haphazard.
your
Hey.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning into the podcast.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next week with a fun little episode with Meat Canyon.
Yep.
I don't know how long that'll be. It might be 2 hours like normal. It might be a little bit longer. Who knows? Depending on how on a roll we get.
Nice.
Just thanks a lot. I just want to say also just before we get through this, I know things are crazy right now. So we really do appreciate all the support we're getting.
We do.
We appreciate everybody on Patreon, and just thanks for supporting us. It's really cool that this is still something that we can do, and it's fucking awesome.
We love y'all.
Thank you. So, I'm gonna go beat my meat.